Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Unfortunately, we're having a technical glitch with our pregame interview with Coach Rick Weaver. So Scoop will do his best Coach Weaver impression. I'm not sure that he can get his voice quite that velvety, but just the same. I asked him multiple questions about coming off your first loss of the season. He said this team has been built to do what it's done so far this year. One loss isn't going to take them off their game, but they've got a unique quirk in their schedule. They have regular season games still to be played next week, in particular Tuesday as they welcome Whitmer. Their first playoff game is scheduled this Thursday. So I asked him, I said, does that really make a difference, or can you treat it just like any other game? And he goes, if you win, it's fantastic. He goes, if you lose, you got to make sure you don't lose your team. Now, it would be a monumental upset if they were to lose on their home field in the opening round of the districts. But, Scoop, this is why every game means something, and you've got to stay locked in. It's a grind.
Well, you have to stay locked in, and Coach Weaver makes a great point there. I mean, it's a whole lot easier to get up for that next game knowing you still have a playoff run ahead of you. But if you're an early exit, boy, that makes it awfully tough to finish out the game. Now, Defiance will, I think we know that, but it certainly would be a lot more wind in their sails, I think, easy to say, if they've got more on the line to play for. So first things first, this is always a great matchup between Fairview and Defiance. These teams, other than a few rainouts in the COVID year a few years back, these teams meet every year, and it's usually late in the season because you want to see good opponents as you're heading into that big sectional district games. You don't want that to be the first time you see quality pitching. I think both these teams are going to see quality pitching, as you already alluded to earlier, Brent.
Especially. We kind of broke down Cole Mack a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about Defiance's Garrison Smitty. And I usually ask the coach, talk about a specific player and the progress or the improvement that they've made from last year to this year. Garrison Smitty, unfortunately, missed all of last season due to, we'll just call it a unique illness. So I said, okay, where has he improved the most from the start of this year to right now? And he said, you know what, he did throw about 11 innings at some of the showcases and some of the Acme games that they played last season, but he just simply said control. He said they didn't want him to feel he had to hump it up to 88 to 90 miles an hour at the expense of being able to spot it. And I somewhat tongue-in-cheek joke with him. I said, I'll often ask pitchers, okay, what's in your repertoire? And if they go more than 3 pitches, I almost always know that they've listened probably to the wrong people. Most high school players, heck, even most college and even pro players will tell you, okay, if I've got 5 or 6 pitches, you really don't have any. And he said what they really wanted to work on Garrison with was, number one, spotting the fastball. He's got somewhat of a unique sidearm. It's not true sidearm, but it's a lower-level delivery on it. And then he said, let's find your bender. And he goes, you can pitch backwards and still be successful, and then we'll work on mixing in a change. And he said Garrison Smitty has, to a T, exemplified what they've wanted.
Well, he really has. He has a 2-to-1 strikeout-walk ratio. And if I'm an opposing coach coming in, having seen Garrison pitch, there's not a lot of ways to attack him. We talked about his opponents did just 116 off Garrison this year. That equates to about 2.5 hits per 7 innings. So if you're Andy Singer and the Apaches, you can't wait for hits to score. You're going to have to find a way to manufacture runs. And I think what I would do as an opposing coach, I would be a little bit more patient at the plate. I would force him to throw a strike across the plate there. To a lot of hitters, just to one up the pitch count, but 2, I think you've got a better chance maybe getting a walk off this young man than you do have him getting a hit.
Yeah, breaking down Garrison Smitty, as we talked about, 4-0 in 5 appearances. He does have 1 complete game to his credit to go along with 1 save. In 21 and a third innings pitched, he's allowed just 8 hits, scoop 3 runs. They've all been earned. He's got almost a 2-to-1 walk to strikeout ratio, 14 walks to 27 strikeouts. And opponents, as Scoop mentioned, hitting $116 against him. But he also doesn't give you freebies. He's only hit 1 batter with a sub-1 ERA. So the question then becomes, do you treat it almost like a 3-0 count when you step in against Garrison Smitty? Are you looking for 1 pitch in 1 spot?
Well, for most of the hitters, I think you do, because, again, you look at his numbers, just 8 hits given up. He has given up 14 walks, so your odds of getting a walk is compared to hitter 2-to-1. So I think you have to make sure you're not expanding the zone. You know, I don't mind you if you're up there swinging early. Better be a fastball down the heart of the plate. And if not, I think you take a strike and then you try to put the ball in play. And if you can get a little traffic on base, you know, get a couple walks, whatever you can do, then look for Fairview to play a little small ball, try to force Defiance defense to throw the ball around a little bit.
On the flip side, for the Apaches, they are going to go with their ace, senior Cole Mack, and his numbers are very glossy as well. In 40 and a third innings pitched, he's got a 5-2 record. Taking a look at his breakdown, he's got 14 walks. He has notched 4 batters. He's allowed 36 hits, 20 runs, but only 12 have been earned, and 31 strikeouts with an ERA of 2.08. He's a different type of pitcher than Garrison Smitty. He's not going to overpower you. He's going to hump that fastball up at maybe 80, 81 miles an hour. But as we've seen, he'll spike, and I don't mean spiking as in putting it at 58 feet. I mean in his grip on his delivery for both his changeup and his slider. And when that thing is on, it changes about 4 lanes of traffic by the time it arrives at home plate.
It does. You know, if I were an opposing hitter, this is probably the last guy I want to see, because you talked about it, the fact that he moves the ball around. His pitches have so much movement on it. I'd rather see a guy that's throwing 90 miles an hour that I can try to time up and where he's going to give me some power of my own. Cole Mack, you know, he's not overpowering, but he gets you to hit his pitch. And I think the key for Cole here this afternoon, he has to control the count, which means he's got to get first pitch strikes. He's got to get hitters into those 1-2 counts, and he cannot afford to fall behind 2-1, 3-1, where Defiance maybe sit on the fastball.
That is a breakdown. More specifically, I guess we could go ahead and call it somewhat of our Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. We're going to give those to you and our keys to the game when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show, Defiance versus Fairview on DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Back at Defiance, get a good look from our grandstand camera as the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. Located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Earning your trust, one satisfied customer at a time. Visit them online at drivebobestil.com. Time now for your Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. Baker-Schindler.com. DCTV.com. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Apaches batting order first. The lineup as follows. They've got some players on this squad. Leading things off, it will be the shortstop Elijah Arend. Again, Arend, when you talk about basically putting players on the field, shortstop is one of those that you almost always take a look at from a defensive standpoint, but this guy is a natural-born leader, and it doesn't hurt that he's got a .453 average and a .533 on-base percentage. Scoop, that's the truest definition of a table setter.
Oh, no doubt about it. Those are just video game-like numbers. Anytime you've got guys hitting at that mark. But you mentioned it, the on-base percentage, I think, is something that's just crazy good here for this team here coming in this afternoon.
Shady Fritch is just a freshman. He's roaming left field, but he's got an impressive batting average as well, hitting .431 and on-base percentage of .608. Batting third, it will be the pitcher, Cole Mack. Hitting cleanup, Zane Timbrook, the right fielder. Drayden Grinnell-Dennis will be your first baseman. Anthony Singer, name might sound familiar to the head coach. The freshman has grown up around the game, and he's a starter as a freshman. At third base, he hits sixth. Batting seventh, Gavin Palladino will be your DH. Gavin Garza will be roaming center field, hitting eighth. And Jesse Kuhlman will be the catcher. He bats in the 9 hole. As they've got 13 seniors on this year's roster. It was a team built to do what they've done, suffering just their first loss of the season on Saturday, coming into tonight's contest at 20-1, and all the parents making the walk. And this is going to be a longer one. It's almost like a graduation processional, but you take a look at them here as they have a chance to do something really special to continue in the long tradition of state championship teams that Defiance has pumped out.
Well, they really do. And first off, it's just incredible. This speaks volumes to the type of program Defiance has. I mean, a lot of teams are hard hurting just getting 13 guys on the varsity. Here you have 13 seniors that have stuck it out. You know, you do the math. You're only starting 9 guys at a time, so these guys have been awfully good. We've talked to Coach Rick Weaver throughout the year. You know, you're impressed with the guy that's on the bump, behind the dish, on the field, but he's also been impressed with the guys in the dugout. Those are the guys, he said, that really deserves the keys. Some of these guys are the greatest cheerleaders for those guys out there that are getting the reps in, day out. And that's what it takes if you want to make a significant tournament run, as I think everybody in Defiance knows how that's done and knows the importance of all those guys filling their roles and playing it to a T.
I believe, was it Ben Meter that he said was kind of their cheerleader, or might call him emotional leader in that dugout. But again, there is always energy. We are setting up right above the Defiance dugout, and we'd be surprised if you didn't hear some of the chants and the bongo drum pounding going on about 10 feet underneath this. As this is a team that's got a lot of energy. Let's go ahead and take a look again at the defensive starters for Defiance. Go figure, all seniors. On the bump, Garrison Smitty. Again, Smitty, the 6'6 senior. Cody Shaw, he's going to continue his baseball career at Findlay University. As he's signed on to play there, the senior catcher. From left to right on the infield, Logan Hutchinson at third. He might be kind of one of those anonymous voices in the chorus. He'd be a standout on almost any other roster. Brez Zipfel, the senior, he'll be playing his college ball across town at Defiance College. Noah Gomez, man second, and Khalil Ligon at first. From left to right in the green, Abel Rubio, Brady Borton, the speed burner in center, and Cohen Stockman will be roaming right field. Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. All right, keys to the game. While they aren't sponsored, Scoop feverishly worked on these until the wee hours of the morning. Scoop, break down what both teams have to do here tonight.
Well, let's start with the visitors from Sherwood, the Fairview Apaches. I think the keys tonight for Fairview is going to start with having quality at bats. You know, they're going to have to really stay locked into plate. You know, have an approach, stay in the zone, do not expand the zone, and help out Garrison Smitty, because that senior does not need any help. As we all know, he's a D1 commit. He's awfully good out there on the bump. I think a second key tonight for Fairview, they've got to play clean defensively. This is a Defiance team that has so many weapons, can hurt in so many ways. The last thing you want to do is extend an inning by giving them an extra out. So I think they need to play clean. If they can do that, they've got a chance to pull off. I'm not even going to call it an upset. You got two teams that have won 20 games here, but they got a chance to get a real quality win here tonight at Defiance.
Those are the keys to the game. I'm still trying to keep my eyes out for the umpiring crew and have yet to see them. I'm assuming they're on site. So what we're going to do is take a quick timeout. When we come back, more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need
to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Our next senior is Abel Rubio.
Back at Defiance, an empty home plate, but the senior class of 13 are all lining up down the first base line as Brent Balbanon alongside Scoop Miller entering the final week of the regular season. There you take a look at some of those 13 members as the Bulldogs suffering their first loss of the season on Saturday in one of those PBR classics right here on this very field. But again, 21-1, and that one really doesn't have any impact as far as the WBL, or for that matter, Scoop, getting ready for the first round of the playoffs coming up on this Thursday.
Well, I thought that PBR was a quality game for Defiance. Obviously, they played a very good Indiana team in Fort Wayne Schneider. The Panthers, I think, are 18-4 on the season. So, there's a team, obviously, quality teams. Anytime you're part of those PBR classics, and Defiance, unfortunately, they gave up 6 runs the first 2 innings, just could not overcome it. But, again, that's one of those learning things. You'd rather learn from a win, I think, than a loss. But a loss can do you some good sometimes, makes your hat fit a little better at times. It might maybe get these guys regrouped a little bit just before tournament time rolls around here to the next week.
Well, we had keys to the game earlier for Fairview. Break them down for Defiance for us.
Well, I think for the Bulldogs, it's going to start with, they want to win the freebie war. That's always a goal, for any Defiance team. Win the freebie war. That is minimize the freebies you give up. That's walks, hit by pitch, wild pitches, errors, and so forth. In the meantime, you want to try to cash in. So you want to try to get some good at-bats and draw some walks. You want to put some pressure in their defense, maybe force some errors. So anytime you win the freebie war in high school baseball, you win just over 92% of the game, so that's always good math. The second key, we've kind of alluded to it, I think you want to put pressure on this Fairview defense. And I look for Defiance to, at times, maybe mix in a little small ball, maybe bunt for a hit, move some runners. But again, put pressure in this Fairview defense, make them throw it around a little bit. And if Defiance can execute in these areas, they can bounce back from a tough loss to Fort Wayne Snyder just 2 days ago.
You're going to see Garrison Smitty, one of those 13 seniors, walk his way into the center of our camera shot at home plate. He will be the starter, towering over even his parents. He will be playing his college ball at Butler University. And Coach Weaver talked to us during our postgame last week saying he doesn't still think, even though Butler offered and signed him, they truly understand what they're getting. This guy is probably 92 to 93 miles an hour just waiting to happen.
Well, I agree. He's really green yet. Remember, he missed all last year, and the fact that you've got guys like Khalil Ligon, Brez Ziffel, Cody Shaw, in the pitching core. You're not going to get as many reps as you would any other place in Ohio. But again, he's starting to figure things out. We talked about the command maybe being the only blemish, but he's starting to figure that out. And he's really – we saw him last week here, Brent. I thought he did a great job controlling the count. He really did a masterful job. I think he had about – 75% of his pitches thrown for strikes. You do that, you're going to win high school baseball games.
Again, the last of the senior class being introduced. Nate, the PA announcer, with a biography capsule for each one of the individuals. The wind is starting to pick up. If you see him go, just introduce yourself and let them know. I believe we may have the umpiring crew. They were taking their time getting to the diamond here, but again, obviously not in any rush with the pregame festivities for the senior class. So this one's going to be a first pitch a little bit past the 5 o'clock hour, but all things considered, promises to be a really good night of baseball as Fairview 20-2, Defiance 21-1. You're about to see senior shortstop Breslin Ziffel. He said the only person that calls him Breslin is his mother when she's angry at him. Everybody else calls him Brez. He will be going across town, as we mentioned, to play his ball at Defiance College. He'll be joining that cute but feisty cousin of his, Tegan, who is already a member of the Defiance College softball team. So, Scoop, I asked her last week when she was filling in for you to join us for a couple of innings. I'll have to ask him who will be titled the most athletic Ziffel in D.C., at least for the next 4 seasons. What do you think? Who you put your money on?
I think it's too close to call right now, but it'll certainly be interesting to see how that folds out. You got 2 extremely talented, competitive individuals there, and I'm sure Defiance College more than thrilled to get those 2 to be on campus.
We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to get set for the playing of our national anthem. Actually, I think we might hold here as everybody – thank you, sir. As both head coaches at home plate there, extending pleasantries and lineup cards, and along with the umpiring crew behind the plate, Jeff Simmons has the gear on today. He'll be calling balls and strikes. And Chad Donsbach will be making all the impartial calls in the field. I know it's become somewhat of a running joke for me to ask you, but either of these guys run you at all during your career, or are you familiar with them?
Well, I'm familiar with them. Neither one's had the pleasure to toss me, though, mostly because they never had me. But Chad Donsbach, former Defiance College head coach and also former Ayersville head coach, he'll be on the bases. And Chad and I go a ways back there, having coached the River Bandits for many years together. And always good to see him at the park.
Well, again, we've talked about it before, but the situation, I don't want to call it dire, but it's become a concern for the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Scoop, the call goes out, regardless of age, but especially if, say, you're 40 years or younger, the game needs umpires. As a matter of fact, name your sport, fall, winter, or spring. They all need officials and umpires.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why you always, I think, as a coach, you try to encourage your kids. That's a great way to give back by having those guys maybe do that, especially when they're young, to see if they like it. Yeah. And more times than not, I think the guys do love that competitiveness. They love being out here, and hopefully they can make a nice long career out of it.
Well, you say give back, but stay involved. I mean, you don't have to leave. You just kind of change views, so to speak. As the home plate and field umpires have exchanged the starting lineups, Defiance and Fairview huddling up down their respective baselines. Everybody will come out, and we get set for the playing of our national anthem. It is brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families, connecting them with resources available to them. If you are a family member or a veteran would like to know what you may qualify for, give their office a call for more information, 419-782-6861. 419-782-6861. Time now for the national anthem. National anthem in the books, courtesy of our sponsor, the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families, connecting them with the resources available to them. If you'd like to know what you qualify for, if you are a veteran or a family member, give them a call, 419-782-6861. Cue up AC/DC and Thunderstruck. We're getting ready for first pitch. An hour. I'm trying to think of the first time in the last 2 seasons that we've called games here where I've seen the wind not blow out.
Yeah, very unusual, and these pitchers probably don't need much help from the elements, but it's going to be awfully tough here to hit 1 yard here this afternoon. Not just because of the elements, but also because of what we're going to see on the bump here this afternoon. And this is Garrison Smitty right here taking his warm-ups. For Smitty, this will be his 5th start. He comes in a perfect 4-0. That's sizzling 0.98 ERA. And as we mentioned earlier, a 2-to-1 strikeout walk ratio. Opponents hitting 116 off Garrison Smitty. But he'll be tested here this afternoon. This is the Fairview team that comes in hitting 381 as a team. And a robust, and I mean robust on-base percentage, north of 500 at 535. So the Apaches have had plenty of traffic on the bases this year. A big part of the reason they're averaging just over 10 runs per contest through their first 22 games this season.
Smitty finishing his warm-ups. We are getting set for first pitch. Well, he's bringing a little something extra here this afternoon. Well, Defiance has technically, after today, 2 more home games officially scheduled. Thursday, opening round of the sectional playoffs, and then next Tuesday against Whitmer. Should Defiance, who is the #1 seed, win on Thursday, and let's be honest, it would be a huge upset if they don't, they're going to be taking a couple of long bus rides for the next 2 ball games, as they will be playing at Tippin for their next, basically, foreseeable future. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and again, but you just want to keep all momentum going. You know, we mentioned how they had that 20-game win streak snapped Saturday, but right now it's, for Rick Weaver, this is a great opportunity to see how his guys are going to respond after facing adversity for one of the few times this season.
Throw down to second. Huddle up on the bump. Time for the Arthur Law Firm first pitch. Passionate, professional, personal. Learn more at arthurlawfirm.com. Elijah Arend will lead it off. Arend Leadoff hitter. He is a junior. As we talked about, his numbers are glossy as he digs in from the right side. Hitting .453 on the season, an on-base percentage of .533, and the first pitch is just a little low for ball one.
Yeah, he's been a great table setter. He leads the Apaches as far as batting average, also leads the team in hits and RBIs.
This one in there for strike one.
And Brent, every time your leadoff man is your leading RBI guy, boy, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
That means the guys at the bottom of the order are getting on base with quite the frequency.
The 1-1. This one popped up, foul territory right side. Ligon giving chase, and up against the fence, makes the catch.
Great start here for Garrison Smitty, and great job by the defense. Ligon did everything right. He went over there, found the fence right away, had enough room. But credit the rest of the Defiance team. That dugout you talked about, Brent, they're all yelling, "You got room, you got room." And again, big first out there for Smitty.
Here is one of our all-name teams. I don't care what conference or what division you're talking about. Shady Fritsch, the freshman left fielder, will dig in. He's not playing like a freshman, Scoop. This kid, can you imagine how much better he's going to be in the next 4 years? He enters today hitting .431 with an on-base percentage of .608.
Just incredible. You know, that on-base percentage leads the area. He also leads the area in stolen bases. He's 19 for 20 on the season, so has great wheels, leads the Apaches in runs scored as well.
Waiting the 1-1. This one popped up, foul territory down the left field line. Chase, and the park will not hold this. Abel Rubio was on his horse, but he wasn't going to catch up to that one.
Right now, this is big for Garrison Smitty. We talked about the key for him. He has to control counts, and right now he's doing that as he has Fritsch in a hole, 0-2. And this is the guy you need to keep off the bases with his speed, the ability to turn a single into a double. And he's that guy who can score from first on just one hit.
The 1-2, bottom fell out of that pitch, swing and a miss. Shaw will get himself set. That is a seasoned catcher right there. A lot of youth would probably rush themselves, maybe throw wrong-footed. He knew, number one, he trusted his arm, but two, he had time. He gave himself a good angle and throws a strike. 2-3 on the putout.
Yeah, well done by the senior Cody Shaw. You know, he was able to glove that cleanly, which gave him extra time. He made sure he had that good angle. But what a great outpitch by Smitty, who records his first Premier Bank strikeout of the afternoon.
It's a 2 up, 2 down, as this one's got a little bit of run on it. Off the mark, ball one. Cole Mack digging in. Mack, counterpart versus counterpart as he takes well above the visor. 2-0.
I think this is what you have to do against Smitty. You have to work the pitch count. You have to make him throw his full arsenal here. Make him attack the zone. Do not expand it.
Mack swings and misses. Strike one. Cole Mack hitting .364 on the season. Again, an on-base percentage of above 500 at .564. He's got 20 hits. Scoop, he's not going to go yard on you. All 20 have been singles as he takes a strike there.
And right now, the left-handed hitter takes a good-looking heater down Main Street. Now the count even at 2-2.
2 down, bases empty. Off speed, he swung over the top of it and upset with himself. Mack wasn't aware the ball was low. Doesn't matter as Shaw makes the tag, and it's a 1-2-3 inning with the second Premier Bank strikeout of the inning for Garrison Smitty. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're through 1/2 inning. Apaches nothing. Bulldogs coming to the plate. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Bottom of the first, Fairview went down in order. Garrison Smitty, starting pitcher, doing the job. You saw for a second Cole Mack, and there he is. He's back on the bump. The senior hurler for Fairview, and his numbers are incredibly impressive as well. 5 wins, just 2 losses, and 40 1/3 innings pitched, 14 walks. He's got 31 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just, let's go over here. What is opponent's batting average?
297.
There it is, 297 with an ERA of just over 2.08. Now, he's a completely different type of pitcher than Garrison Smitty, but Scoop, he's incredibly effective.
He really is. Anytime you're giving up fewer hits than innings pitched, that means you're awfully effective. And he's done that. He's got those different release points. He's got a different arm angle slot on a lot of his pitches. So not an easy guy to pick up, especially first time through the lineup.
Deals to Logan Hutchinson. Hutch takes a first pitch strike. Let's go ahead and show you Defiance's batting order, their lineup. You see Hutchison entering today's contest, hitting .345. This one a grounder up the middle. Diving stop by Aaron. Can he keep it? The throw gets away from the first baseman, Grinnell Dennis, but it doesn't scoot too far. Hutchison's going to leg out what I got to believe is going to go down as an infield single.
Yeah, they've already marked it. That's an infield single that time by Hudson with his speed. That was an all-or-none play. A great effort that time from Aaron there at shortstop, who almost took away a base hit from Hutchinson. Defiance now has something cooking. We'll see if Stockman is swinging away or if he's playing a little small ball early.
Stockman digs in from the left side. Let's take a look at the Defiance batting order. He hits second. Brady Borton, the speedy center fielder, hits third. Noah Gomez will bat cleanup. Catcher Cody Shaw fifth, Khalil Ligon in sixth. Abel Rubio roams left field, hitting seventh. Brez Zipfel, the shortstop. He's seen the average drop below the Mendoza line. He will hit ninth. Let's go ahead and take a look at the defense for the Apaches here this afternoon. Again, all senior battery. Cole Mack on the bump. Jesse Kuhlman, the catcher. As Mack working out of the stretch, the runner goes. Throw down to second. It's on the money. And did the tag get made? A little bit of dancing, a little bit of hoopla, and they finally make the tag. Now Logan Hutchinson, kind of an interpretive dance. How many jukes and jives could he give there? But staying with him, a nice job by Aaron to make the tag, and caught stealing means the first out of the ball game. Pardon me, in the first here.
Yeah, what a great throw by Jesse Kuhlman as well. He was able to get rid of that baseball quickly. The throw clearly ahead of Hutchinson, but as you mentioned, a couple dance steps or two.
Let's go ahead and give you the Apache defense. As we mentioned, Kuhlman making the great throw from left to right on the infield. It goes freshman, junior, sophomore, junior. Anthony Singer, coach's son at third. Elijah Aaron, who made the great tag on the attempted steal at short. Logan Olinger at second, and Drayden Grinnell Dennis at first. From left to right in the outfield, you got a pair of underclassmen and then a senior. Shady Fritsch, Gavin Garza, Zane Timbrook. As the count heads up, good hold, as you would say, Scoop, by Cole. And he's worked the count full. Reaches out, kind of threw his hands at it, and that's a lazy liner right at Aaron, 2 away.
A great job by Mack. He got into that 3-ball count, which he wants to avoid, but he made a quality pitch there on the payoff pitch to Stockman. And after throwing out Hutchinson, a quick out to Stockman, and 2 quick outs here for Cole Mack, trying to retire the Bulldogs in order.
So here's Brady Borton digging in, hitting a healthy .426. He has started all 21 games for Defiance. And you can hear the chant starting up in the dugout just beneath us here as Mack tries to nibble on the outside corner, nothing doing. Borden hitting .426. You want to get that speed aboard. Now, he had over 20 stolen bases last season, Scoop. He's got a healthy 11. He has been caught twice this year. He did not get thrown out at all last season. But he's a guy that can also find the gap. With that great speed, no surprise, he's got a double, but 4 triples on the season as well. Swings and misses. And that one squirts out of the mitt. Borton's upset with himself. He wasn't aware that ball was dropped, and he's going to be tagged out for a Premier Bank strikeout to end the first inning. So both pitchers showing their stuff early. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're through one. No score. We'll head to the top of the second right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
There you see the southpaw Garrison Smitty finishes warm-ups as a throw down to second base. Top of the second brings up 4, 5, and 6 for Fairview. Zane Timbrook will lead it off. Drayden Grinnell-Dennis on deck and Anthony Singer in the hole.
And Brent, we should mention this is the 44th game between these two rivals. Defiance has dominated the series, up 36 wins, 7 losses during that time. A perfect 3-0 since the COVID year a few years back. So Defiance trying to keep that winning streak alive here against the Apaches this afternoon.
Lefty-lefty matchup to lead off the top of the second. First pitch swing, Zane Timbrook sends a shot to second, dropping down to a knee. That is textbook by Noah Gomez. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Again, great job by Smitty. We talked about the importance for him. You know, he's got to control counts. A lot of first pitch strikes. That time he's able to get 1 pitch, 1 out as Timbrook hit that ball well, but right at Gomez. A routine play for Gomez. Scored 4-3. That'll bring up the junior, Drayden Grinnell-Dennis, hitting .371 on the season with a .469 on-base percentage.
They just almost all look like a mirror image of each other, don't they, Scoop? There is no weak link in this Fairview lineup.
No, you're right. Their numbers are just robust. And that time, Grinnell-Dennis chases a changeup down low. And then
nasty bender.
Comes right back with another off-speed pitch, and quickly Smitty on top. And again, controlling the count like he needs to do. Now we'll see what comes up with 0-2.
Oh, nasty. Bottom fell out of that one. Swing and a miss. Shaw will go down to second for good measure. That is the 3rd Premier Bank strikeout of the ball game in 5 batters for Garrison Smitty.
Well, clearly that's been his out pitch. That nasty bender that time completely fools Grinnell-Dennis, as he's the 3rd Apache, not only to strike out, but to chase that curveball down in the dirt. So right now, Smitty looking to go consecutive 1, 2, 3 innings to start out this ball game.
Digging in from the right side, the freshman third baseman, Anthony Singer.
Yeah, Singer's had a great freshman season, hitting .391, an on-base percentage of .475. He also has 27 hits for the Apaches this season. And there he takes a fastball upstairs to get on top of Smitty, 2-0.
Scoop, I'm looking down here, and you just keep thinking, okay, where are you going to find the weak link in the chain? There isn't one.
It's not there.
Every Apache hitter has an on-base percentage of over 400. As this one inside outed, fouled right side and out of play. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, you know all you need to know when you look at the number 9 hitter, Logan Ollinger, who's hitting 349 and on-base percentage just under 600 at 596.
That's your 9-hole, ladies and gentlemen. It's this one a little late on the swing, fouled straight back, and from 2-0, it's now 2-2.
It doesn't get easier at the 8-hole with Jesse Kuhlman, a guy with an on-base percentage of 586. He also has 13 stolen bases. Those are usually your leadoff type guys, that can swipe bases and are getting on base 3 out of 5 times.
Out on his front foot, and the freshman just muscles this one into center field for a 2-out single.
Well, credit Anthony Singer that time. He had a great approach. He got up in the count 2-0, and then he was aggressive. He was looking for something. His will, he fouled a couple back, but seeing a couple pitches, getting a couple swings, made that 2-strike approach a whole lot easier, and he has the Apaches' first hit of the afternoon.
I would say this, Scoop, and I wish we had instant replay because I'd love to take another look at it. He was fooled. His body, his weight was so far out on his front foot, but what he did was keep his bat back through the zone, and that is not textbook, but he did a tremendous job of adjusting, even though that wasn't where his load should have been.
No, that's a coach's kid right there. Kept the hands back, was fooled on the pitch, but he kept the weight back, was able to do enough for that baseball, not try to do too much. But again, I think that helped the fact that wasn't his first swing. He had a couple good cuts early in that AB. Right now, Fairview trying to make something happen after 2 quick outs from Smitty.
This is the designated hitter, Gavin Palladino, hitting .350 on the season. Boy, he took a healthy cut, swings over the top of this one, and he's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that time Palladino way out in front. The head came out a little bit. When that happens, the shoulder comes with it. Unable to get that pitch on the outer third.
Boy, he is so far up in the plate. I mean, his lead foot is on the chalk, and he's asking for time. Now, this is where you have to be careful. I know he's probably anticipating trying to get a hold of one of those benders before it snaps off, but you also need to make sure if you take a long stride, you stay inside the box.
That's a good point. He's just right on the edge of that line there at the front of the box.
See if Smitty busts a fastball in on him. He does, and this one barreled up deep to right field. Going back, and this one almost bounces over the fence. Stockman's got it. 1 run is going to come home, bobbling the ball. They finally get it back onto the infield, and that is a shot. One of the deepest we've seen here this season at Defiance, as Palladino just missed a 2-run homer. It will still go down as an RBI triple, and Fairview breaks the scoreboard first.
Well, how about the Apaches after 2 quick outs? The single by the freshman Anthony Singer. And that time the junior Gavin Palladino absolutely barreled that one up. And Fairview caught a break. It looked like that was going to bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. But it caught the top of the fence there, the yellow tile it caught, stayed in the park. That allowed Singer to score. With 2 outs, you're running all the way. So Singer had a good jump, was able to score easily on that triple. And just like that, the Apaches have taken an early lead over the Bulldogs.
As it stands, that's really going to bring the Fairview faithful to their feet. But, Scoop, it's only 1 run. Right now, if you focus in on the batter, if you're Garrison Smitty, you keep the damage to a minimum. As is this going to be Kuhlman digging in from the right side.
And again, Kuhlman's had some good numbers, hitting north of 300 at 327. And if you're Defiance in the defense, you have to understand how much speed this young man has on a routine ground ball. It may not be routine, so you're going to have to really do a good job charging the baseball, getting that quick release point. Try to minimize things here in the second inning and hold the Apaches to just 1 run.
This one popped up right side, drifting back, foul territory. Ligon really backpedaling, and he makes the catch in foul territory, as that will retire the side for the Apaches here in the top of the second, but not before they come up with 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We're through 1.5. Fairview 1, Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's
Car Headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
And we welcome you back to the Midwest Federal Credit Union broadcast booth with Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon. Check them out online at midwestcommunity.org. Fairview, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. They left a runner at third in the top half of this frame. They break the scoreboard first. We'll see what Defiance can do in the bottom of the second against right-handed starter Cole Mack. It will be 4, 5, and 6. Noah Gomez leads it off. Cody Shaw on deck, and Khalil Ligon in the hole. Check swing, off-speed stuff, and that's what you're going to get a steady diet of from Cole Mack, strike one.
Well, you are, and again, he's got those different release points. That different arm angle slot makes it awfully tough to pick up, especially first time through the lineup.
You take a look at there. I mean, that thing changes about 4 lanes of traffic by the time it gets to home plate. It has got some movement. The 1-1. He hung one. This one's going to be grounded in between short and third into left field. Leadoff man is aboard for Defiance to start off the second, and he's the tying run.
Good piece of hitting by the senior. Noah Gomez that time is able to time one up, took advantage of the pitch up in the zone. And for the second consecutive inning, the Bulldogs have their leadoff man on board via a base hit.
Last inning, it was Logan Hutchinson who got thrown out trying to steal second. Right now, Cody Shaw digs in. Senior catcher. Mack from the stretch. Nibbles on the inside corner. He gets the call. Shaw hitting .367 on the season. He has started all 21 games for the Bulldogs. The 0-1. Another bender. He dipped the barrel of the bat down, sends a fly ball to center, but Garza's got the beat on it, hauls it in, 1 away.
There's 2 great pitches that time by Cole Mack. The first one, a nice-looking fastball, busted Shaw on the hands. Then he came with that nice looping bender that time, kept it downstairs, was able to induce the fly out to Garza out there in center field. A big first out there for Cole Mack.
So here's Khalil Ligon digging in. Right-hander, runner goes, throw down to second. Boy, it's on the money, and they got him! Jesse Kuhlman, for the second time today, guns down a would-be Defiance base stealer.
And wow, Noah Gomez, a perfect 11 for 11 until that stolen base attempt right there. And Kuhlman now is really going to maybe stymie this running game of the Bulldogs. Right now, Kuhlman's thrown out 2 Defiance would-be base stealers. And wow, that's awfully big. And how about Cole Mack? Able to get a lot of help from his batter mate, Jesse Kuhlman, here this afternoon.
Gomez got a great jump. That was just a great throw by Kuhlman. 2-0 the count now to Ligon, but 2 down with the bases empty. Check that. It was 3-0, and he takes downstairs for ball 4.
Remember, Defiance coming in north of 85% success rate in stolen bases, but 0 for 2 may kind of change things here this afternoon.
So this will bring up the only non-senior in the lineup today for Defiance. Freshman DH Colt Ward. There's a reason he's hitting, folks. He leads the team .516 the batting average, and this is as a freshman.
And he also leads the team to .585 on-base percentage.
First pitch swinging, opposite field, left field. Fritch on his horse, dives, and it is a fair ball. It bounces way down the left field line, and this will score the equalizer. Liggins stands up as he crosses home plate, standing up into second base. Ward, a critical 2-out RBI double by the freshman, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, the freshman just continues to hit. That time he's able to go apple there, and probably a freshman mistake by Shady Fritch out there in left field. You know, you need to know the situation. You've got a guy on first, you're 2 outs, you want to be no doubles defense. I don't think that's the ball you want to sell out on.
No.
I think you keep in front, keep runners at the corner. Instead, it'll go down as an RBI double, and both teams now have struck after 2 quick outs. They're going to appeal over to third base to see if he left. He missed third.
Are they calling him out? Home plate umpire,
No,
Jeff
okay.
Simmons. No, he is not.
No.
Okay.
He initially
He put his fist up.
He
I
did
was
put
thinking,
the fist
okay.
up, tricked everybody. And I think Andy Singer wanted to appeal the fact that he might have missed third base heading home.
So Abel Rubio digs in. Like to see the average a little heftier, just $1.76. A base hit here, though, most likely gives Defiance the lead. He's got 2 RBI on the season. He'd love to make it 3 here with Colt Ward standing at second base. 0-1 the count. Mack trying to keep the damage to a minimum. Deals. That was a beautiful sidearm delivery. Strike 2.
A nice job by Mack. Right now, you just have to minimize things. After that 6th double of the season by Colt Ward, drives home the Defiance first run. Go out there, just win the next batter, win the next pitch.
The 0-2. This one, a liner right at the first baseman, Grinnell Dennis, and he snares it to save the go-ahead run from scoring. Rubio couldn't hit it any harder, but right at the defense, and that will do it for Defiance here in the bottom of the second. Not before they come up with the equalizer. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We're through 2. Defiance 1, Fairview 1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need
to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Well, it is Military Appreciation Day today. We've got several veterans in the stands, and they have been treated to a fantastic ball game so far. So we welcome you back to Defiance. Top of the third brings up the bottom of the order. Logan Olinger, the 9-hole, will lead it off. The lineup does roll over after that. Elijah Arend on deck and Shady Fritch in the hole. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for Fairview. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for Defiance. Deadlocked. We talked about Murderer's Row. Usually you take a look at one stretch of the lineup and say, okay, after this batter scoop, opposing pitchers might be able to take a little bit of a breather. Not to say that you can lose focus, but you might be able to throw some other stuff. You cannot do that. 1 through 9 can burn you for this Fairview lineup.
Yeah, just incredible the offensive numbers these guys have put up. And anytime you're scoring north of 10 runs per game, you're getting some balance throughout the lineup. And there's a nasty-looking bender that time right on the inside corner. And Smitty is able to get on top of Olinger early.
Kind of jelly-legged him as he scoots out of the way of this pitch. Olinger in the 9-hole. Scoop mentioned it last inning, hitting .349 with an on-base percentage of .596. I mean, after the first inning, Scoop, he's basically just another table setter.
Yeah, and he's got great wheels. We saw that in the gridiron. He was an all-conference wide receiver for the Apaches.
Waiting the 1-2. Smitty deals, lefty-lefty matchup. He pulled a string, but that one short-hopped. Cody Shaw and Olinger, he thought about it, but he managed to hold up.
Oh, nice job tracking it by Olinger. That's been that out pitch for Smitty all afternoon long. He's gone downstairs in the cellar with that nasty hammer. That time a great hold by Olinger to even things up at 2-2.
See what he comes with here. He brings the heat, and he got him looking. Paints the black on the outside corner. A backwards K for this Premier Bank strikeout to lead off the third.
A great start by Smitty once again, who's using all four quadrants. You know, he didn't get that bender, didn't get the Olinger to chase, but he comes right back to the fastball on the outer edge. Good-looking punch out, the fourth of the afternoon for Smitty.
So that'll bring up Elijah Aaron digging in from the right side, 0 for 1. Popped out to first base in foul territory to lead off the ball game. Takes just below the knees here for ball one. Outfield pretty much straight away, and I would say normal play depth. The wind blowing in this afternoon, so it's a bit more of a pitcher's park.
Yeah, I think normally you'd have to play maybe a few steps back here with the wind coming in and the speed of the Defiance outfield. They can pretty much play straight up there and I think still take away any gap shots.
Which tells you something about the triple an inning ago that Gavin Palladino hit over Cohen Stockman's head.
That ball was crushed. It was absolutely crushed, and it was one of those balls that was right over his head. So a little bit tougher to track down when you have to do a complete 180 and put on the burners.
3 balls and no strikes. Smitty comes with the obligatory get me over fastball that's in there for strike one. Aaron was taking. We'll see if he's got the green light here on 3-1.
This is where you got to be smart. You know, if you're swinging, just make sure you're getting the pitch you want, not just swinging at any old strike. You know, Smitty's going to have to come twice in a row here, down 3-1.
This one lined into the left center field gap. Another shot. Brady Borton using that speed to knock it down. The play at second base. Not in time. Elijah Aaron with a 1-out double. Fairview keeping the heat on.
Great swing by Aaron. Again, that's the key. He was in that hitter's count. He made sure he stayed locked in. That little bobble by Borton in center field allowed Aaron to stretch that into a double.
So one away, but a runner in scoring position here. Brings up the freshman Shady Fritsch. 0 for 1. He struck out swinging back in the first. And if you're Smitty, you got to go after the batter here. Zippel pinching over behind the runner at short. Another left-handed hitter up. We'll see where Smitty decides to deal him. Fritsch showed bunt. He takes low, ball 1.
And right now, if you're the Defiance infield, you have to get dirty, cannot let anything through on the ground. With the speed of Aaron at second base, a base hit will most likely score the junior.
1-0. Smitty deals, showing bunts, and this one's in there.
Yeah, nice job by Smitty that time. A lot of times when guys square the bunt, it throws off your delivery a little bit. You miss upstairs. He delivered it nicely. Was able to paint that outside edge, and a big pitch to even things up at 1-1.
1 down, runner at second in a 1-1 ball game. Smitty deals. Another nice low pitch, and he's been working not just all 4 quadrants, but Scoop, especially downstairs. Do you keep the bunt on here with 2 strikes with Fritsch at the plate?
Yeah, I think you're going to be swinging away, especially with a lefty here. You know, if you can hit to the right side, you're going to advance the runner either way.
This one, kind of inside-out swing, popped up, shallow right center field. Gomez a couple steps on the green, hauls it in for a very big second out.
Yeah, great job by Garrison that time to retire Shady Fritz that time and not allow the advancement of Aaron to third base. So right now, Smitty with a chance to get out of this third inning unscathed.
He'll have to do it against his counterpart, Cole Mack. Another lefty. When was the last time you saw a prep lineup with this many left-handed hitters in it, Scoop?
I don't think I've seen very many, that's for sure. Just a handful over the many, many years.
Uh-oh, this one spiked. It bounces away from Shaw and trotting 90 feet to third. Aaron advances on the wild pitch.
And that's huge, I think, for Fairview because now with the runner on third base, remember there's 37 ways to score from third. And one of those is going to be via a wild pitch. So as Smitty's probably not going to want to throw that curveball that's been downstairs time and time again. So it should allow Cole Mack to get a little bit better pitch to hit with Aaron on third base.
The 1-0, Mack wasn't fooled. He had him measured, and he's talking to himself as he fouled that straight back.
Boy, he had the pitch he wanted. That was a straight ball and had a lot of the plate about belt high. But Mack not able to square it up.
Mack looking for his 14th RBI of the season. It would give Fairview the lead. Smitty trying to shut him down, and he buries another one, and what a stop by Cody Shaw.
That's a big-time play by Shaw. You know, you can see why he's a guy that's going to not only play at the next level but have success at the next level. Well, that was a 56-foot hammer, and Shaw was able to keep that in front and gloved it cleanly.
2-1. Smitty deals the heat, and this one fouled away. And again, Mack not happy with himself. That's the second time in this at-bat he hasn't been able to do anything with the pitch he was sitting on.
Well, now he knows he's kind of set up for that nasty out pitch, that bender down low. That was able to retire Mack in that first inning.
Mack struck out to end the first. Smitty with a 2-2 count. Deals him here. This one gets dirty. And again, Shaw, human backstop as the count now runs full.
Great pitch. You could see it on the release. That was going to be a curveball all the way. And Mack was able to spot that as well as he lays off.
Payoff pitch, lefty-lefty matchup. Smitty with a deep breath. Comes set, deals. Popped up out of play. We'll do it again.
Well, that time Smitty challenged with the fastball, and that time he amped up that fastball a little bit. I think that was maybe the highest on the gun here we've seen this afternoon from Smitty. But a great job by Cole Mack to fight it off. Well, this has been a great battle between these two pitchers.
On the way again. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Mack can't believe it. Smitty all business as he walks back to the Defiance dugout. A backwards K is another Premier Bank strikeout, and he keeps the go-ahead run at third base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left the board. 2.5 in the books. Score remains Defiance 1, Fairview 1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Healthy looking crowd on a Monday afternoon. Helps when you've got good weather to play baseball. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for visiting Fairview. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the host Defiance Bulldogs. Brent Balvinot alongside Scoop Miller. atop the diamond at the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union broadcast booth as Cole Mack will face the number 9 hitter, Brez Ziffel, senior shortstop. Top of the order in the on-deck circle in Logan Hutchinson and Cohen Stockman in the hole. Brez Ziffel has struggled at the plate this season. This was a kid that was hitting over 300 at the end of last season, Scoop. He is batting $167 right now.
Yeah, and again, I wouldn't mind seeing Defiance. You got a freshman third baseman. Maybe try to play a little small ball, get something started against Mack, who's had a lot of success here this afternoon. Mack has not been overpowering, but again, he's really mixing things up, keeping Defiance off balance.
2-0. Gets this one in there. Ziffel takes for strike one. Perez really worked during the offseason to shorten up his swing. It was a little long, had some issues with his load. Pops this one up, right side, drifting, and it will get out of play.
A great job by Mack to get back in the count after falling behind Brez, 2-0. Now has things evened up here. This is the man you have to retire before this lineup turns over to Hutchinson, Stockman, and Borton.
Mack, deep breath, deals, got him, swinging, strike 3. Premier Bank strikeout for Cole Mack, as that will be his second of the ball game. One away here in the Defiance third.
Yeah, nasty pitch that time from Mack. Was able to get back in the count at 2-2. That ball had a lot of sideways run to it, and a lot of late break as well. Big punch out there for Mack.
Hutchison digs in from the left side, takes a first pitch strike. Logan led off the bottom of the first with an infield single, but was thrown out trying to steal second base. Mack deals. Boy, he is painting it. And Hutch, you could tell by the reaction there, he did not like the call. He's down now in the count 0-2.
Yeah, right now he's got him set up for one of those benders downstairs around the ankles.
This one misses low. Break down Mack's delivery. He keeps his elbow in tight. He doesn't open up like a lot of other pitchers.
Yeah, he's really herky-jerky. You're not going to see that ball behind him. A lot of times you get in that motion, you've got the baseball with your fingers pointing to the center field fence. He has that baseball down around his hip, about 6 inches from. He doesn't get far back there, kind of short arms it. Again, with those different arm slot delivery points, been awfully tough to pick up.
2-2 fouled away over by the entrance. We'll do it again. So if you are a hitter, and especially a lefty, where do you pick him up in his delivery?
It has to be a little bit deeper, I think, than normal. The fact that he short arms it, but he's not overpowering. So you don't want to be too premature. You got to do a good job of staying back, which is easier said than done, because the way that herky-jerkiness comes at you, it looks like it's going to come after you a lot faster than it is.
No. 3-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Hutchinson was already 4 or 5 steps down the line to first. And instead, it's going to be a backwards K for another Premier Bank strikeout, 2 away.
Yeah, great job by Mack. Back-to-back strikeouts here to start out the home half of inning 3 for the Bulldogs. And right now, Cole Mack trying to get a 1-2-3 inning.
He struck out the first 2 hitters he's faced. Cohen Stockman, first pitch swinging, sends a high, lazy fly ball to center field. Kepler steps in. Gavin Garza will squeeze. And the Bulldogs go in order here in the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're through 3. Pitchers duel. Fairview 1, Defiance 1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
You like a little bit more cheese on your nachos, or is that about right for you?
I just can't wait till they work their way up to the press box. There should be any in right now.
Toss a little salsa on those, and I think you got something going as we welcome you back to Defiance. Right now we're feasting on some tremendous high school baseball. Top of the fourth brings up 4, 5, and 6 for Fairview. Zane Timbrook will lead it off. Drayden Grinnell-Dennis on deck. Anthony Singer in the hole. Defiance and Fairview knotted up at a 1 run apiece. Scoop, this has turned into the pitcher's duel we anticipate.
Well, this is what you expect. You know, both these teams coming in combined 40 wins and just 3 losses. And again, a team that really neither team beats himself. You know, you don't get to the 20-win seasons without having quality arms. And certainly we're seeing 2 really good ones here this afternoon in Garrison Smitty and Cole Mack.
Zane Timbrook will step out. Garrison Smitty will step off. Timbrook very deep in the box, but he's right on top of the plate. Smitty deals. Whoa, and Timbrook wears the pitch for the third, make that 4th base runner of the afternoon.
Well, I was just going to say, you're not going to miss inside without hitting it because, as you mentioned, Brent, he was right on top of the plate. Not only is he on the line there, which he's allowed to do, but he's also kind of leaning over. And that time, a pitch clearly missed inside. And Fairview has her leadoff man on base here for the first time this afternoon. We'll see if the Apaches elect to go a little small ball here. Runner on first, no one out.
Grinnell-Dennis digs in 0 for 1. Throw over to first by Smitty, but Grinnell-Dennis does not tip as he doesn't show.
Yeah, great job by Smitty. You know, that throw to first was simply to see if he was going to show his hand. I did not see it either, so maybe Grinnell-Dennis is swinging away, and why not? He leads the team in triples, home runs, and extra base hits as well.
Smitty swinging away on a first pitch fastball. He had a cut and fouls it straight back. Well, we got our answer. He's hitting.
Well, he's a guy that hasn't been asked to really sack bunt all year. You know, he's been swinging a big bat. As we mentioned, leads the Apaches in extra base hits on the season with 10.
The 0-1. Just above the shoe tops. Shaw keeping an eye on Timbrook at first base.
And Drayden Grinnell-Dennis has been a big RBI man for the Apaches as well. I believe he's second on the team with 21 RBIs. Right now, just want to find a way to get on base and get a little bit more traffic out there with no one out.
Timbrook with virtually no lead at first. He's a perfect 6 for 6 this season. He hasn't gone often, but when he has, he's chosen right. But right now, not much more than a 2.5 step lead as Khalil Ligon will hold.
Well, Fairview's had a lot of success stealing bases this year. 81 for 85. 95% plus clip, but you're not going to get those kind of numbers on Cody Shaw.
Strike 2 dealt in on the inside corner. So one of the things that Rick Weaver talked to me about during his pregame interview, back in the day, I'm going to use that phrase kindly, and I know you played longer or farther back than I did, and I'm just going to use myself as the example. As off speed, Mitch is low and away. Tell you what, I'm not sure where that pitch was supposed to go, but Cody Shaw was coming out of his crouch and backhanded the baseball. So I'm not sure if they got crossed up, but count now 3-2.
Looks like Shaw's expecting a high fastball, and he got something that was
a curve,
low and away with movement.
Well, this one in the dirt, and it doesn't matter. It's ball 4, so Timbrook will head down to second. Grinnell-Dennis down to first with a walk. That will bring up Anthony Singer, who singled his first trip up.
And these are the first 2 freebies that Fairview's gotten. It was Singer, who's been hitting .391. I'm not sure he's a bunt situation guy either. I think he's certainly going to be swinging. He has one of the 3 Fairview hits and the only Fairview run at this juncture.
Freshman will step in as we've got a quick meeting on the mound from the right side of the infield. Are they coming in? I would think the middle would pinch for a potential double play on a ground ball, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Play too. I think the corners are in, expecting a little small ball here with the freshman Anthony Singer at the dish.
Singer right on top of the plate. Smitty, and he is bunting. He takes strike 1.
Well, that's the pitch you want to bunt to. A fastball at the knees. Not much danger of popping that bunt up and getting a double play. Good chance of getting it onto turf. Right now 0-1. We'll see if head coach Andy Singer has his son Anthony Singer bunting here in this situation again.
I'm going to guess he does. Although Hutch not nearly as far in at third. Now the corners crash, and this one a bunt to first. Ligon gave a look at third, but he elects to get the sure out. And look at the high five down. You missed it, but down the first base line, Anthony Singer high-fiving the coaches. As he gets the job done, the sacrifice puts 2 runners now in scoring position.
Great bunt that time by the freshman Singer, and with Ligon really squeezing him and that ball coming right at him, I think he might have had a play, but he took a look, as you mentioned, decided on the sure out. But what that does, it moves Apaches into scoring position, and Defiance will bring their infield in here with a tie game in the 4th inning and just 1 out. So now a ground ball up the middle will certainly score a couple runs.
Palladino tripled deep to right field his last trip up, hitting .350 on the season, but with the infield drawn in, add about 30 points to that average as he takes a strike on the inner third.
Well, right now with first base open, you don't have to give in to Palladino, who had that monster triple, so make quality pitches. You know, a lot of times I think you walk a guy in this situation to load up the bases, get that double play set up. But when you have guys like Kuhlman and Ollinger at 8 and 9, they're not your typical 8-9 hitters. So I understand why Rick Weaver's decided that we're going to pitch to Palladino here and bring our infield in with 1 out.
0-1. Palladino with 21 RBI on the season. 22 would give his team the lead as he sends a humpback liner into shallow right center field. It gets down. Timbrook will score. They'll wave Darrell Grimes around third. The throw, short hops, and then bounces over Cody Shaw. Standing up into second, Palladino has busted the game back open with his 2nd hit of the afternoon, a 2-run single.
Great job by the junior Palladino. Nothing fancy there, but that humpback liner found some pasture out there in shallow right center field. An aggressive call to send Grinnell Davis from second base. And with Smitty not backing up that throw home, that allows Palladino to go in scoring position. So that wipes off the potential double play ball here. And right now, Fairview looking for more as the Apaches take a 3-1 advantage with just 1 out here in the 4th inning.
Here's Kuhlman digging in, trying to keep the line moving as Smitty deals. Trying to reassert himself with the first pitch heater, strike 1.
That heater had a purpose there. That time reared back, put a little bit extra juice on that. Big pitch to get ahead of Kuhlman, 0-1.
Fouled straight back, Smitty trying to bow his neck. He's ahead in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes.
All right, now if you're Kuhlman, you need to find a way to grind out this at bat, put it in play, put a little pressure on this Defiance defense with a runner in scoring position and just 1 out.
The 0-2 in the lefty-righty matchup. Bender got him on the outside corner for a called 3rd strike.
Oh, nasty looking pitch that time from Smitty. Looked like a changeup, but wow, completely fooled Kuhlman, who was way out in front. Boy, you want to step on thin ice with that front foot. That time he went through the ice, way out in front. Big punch out, a Premier Bank strikeout for Garrison Smitty, his 6th of the afternoon.
Still not out of the woods with the 9-hole. Ollinger digging in. He is 0 for 1, struck out looking just an inning ago. First pitch swinging here, fouls that one over onto the softball diamond. Want to wish Coach Parrish and his squad luck, as Thursday they will be traveling to Lima for the opening round of the districts. Trying to keep those. I've told you this before. In Iowa, the districts were first, the sectional second. And they flip-flopped them here in Ohio, and it's just taking a memory or two for me to make that switch in the Rolodex in my brain. So,
well, you're talking about district tournaments. That's the only time the state of Iowa is ahead of the state of Ohio is when you're talking district tournaments.
I would also say corn-fed beef. You ever had a corn-fed steak? I'm telling you.
I'll give you that one, too.
Oh,
that's
man.
Legit. That's legit.
If we ever get you over 2 states, I will take you to a number of places. I'm sure it will be a strain for you, and you can tell me which one you think has the best beef.
Yeah, you're on.
1-2. Smitty will step off. I'm going to say Defiance doesn't – well, I take that back. I guess since they're not a sponsor, I won't mention their name. As this one, short hop Shaw, and that's going to be a wild pitch. Scoop, you mentioned it last inning. Garrison Smitty just has had some problems with control. I'm going to call that his curve, which is kind of a hybrid, but he's been burying that 2, sometimes 3, maybe even more feet short this afternoon.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to control it or locate it. What bailed him out early, I thought, was the fact that Fairview – left the zone multiple times, chasing after that 59-footer, but now the Apaches are laying off. They should get a decent-looking fastball to hit.
2-2, grounded to second, dropping to a knee. Nice job by Gomez. Over to first. That will retire Olinger, and with him the Apaches here in the top of the 4th. Not before the visitors come up big. 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Apaches back on top, this time by 2, as they lead Defiance 3-1. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need
to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com.
Right now, the hosts trailing the visiting Fairview Apaches. Bulldogs trying to find an answer after giving up a pair in the top half of this frame, trailing 3-1. It's the meat of the order, 3, 4, and 5. Borton, Gomez, and Shaw. Borton takes kind of an unorthodox swing there on a 1-0 count. Evens things up. Brady, somewhat of a closed stance. Struck out swinging back in the first. Mack deals this one a ground ball. Nice backhanded stop by Olinger. Flips it over to first. Boy, that I don't want to say was an all or nothing play, but that ball got on him in a hurry, and he did a great job of making sure it didn't go any farther.
Yeah, that's a play at the high school ranks you don't see made a lot of times, but credit to Logan Olinger that time. He was able to make that backhand stab and takes away a hit from Brady Borton, and a big first out for Cole Mack. Looking for a shutdown inning after the Apaches just put up 2 in the top half of the frame.
Noah Gomez hitting .394. First pitch swinging, sends this one in. Diving catch by Fritch. He shows it to the umpire, and they say out number 2. If he doesn't come up with that, that's easily extra bases. It may be an inside the park home run, and the freshman just flashes in with a web gem.
Well, that's as good a play as you're going to see at any level. Credit to Fritch. We saw him off the aggressive on a play earlier. And this time, boy, that's going to be one for the highlight reel. Just a big-time play there by Fritch. And how about Cole Mack using his defense, looking for a 1-2-3 inning here after the Apaches scored 2 in the top half of this inning.
Well, he's done it on an economy of pitches as well, Scoop. That was just the 4th pitch of this inning. As Cody Shaw digs in. This one a hard hit grounder up the middle, past the diving glove of Elijah Aaron and into center field for a 2-out single.
And now how big's that catch by Shady Fritch out there in left field? That would have most likely scored a run. But right now it's just a 2-out single for Shaw. And remember, the Defiance running game's been stymied.
Yes.
So Shaw, a good base runner, 8 for 9 and stolen bases on the season. But I'm not sure this is a running scenario down 2 here in the 4th.
I don't either. You're going to count on Khalil Ligon, who showed a good eye in his last at-bat, drawing a walk to keep the line moving.
That's the only walk that's been surrendered by Cole Mack, who's really been efficient, not overpowering, but hitting his spots.
Whoa! Up around the visor, and Ligon ducks out of the way.
Yeah, that wasn't even chin music. That was more near the ear hole right there. That ball was coming in his living room.
1-0. Mack leaning back. This one, a liner over the glove of Aaron and into center field. That came back in a hurry. Exit velo had to be well over 100. And back-to-back singles for Defiance puts the tying run aboard with 2 down here in the 4th.
That ball was smoked there by Ligon. He was sitting in the hitter's count 1-0. He got the fastball, and he turned that thing around in a hurry. And now Defiance here trying to come up with a little 2-out magic. Back-to-back singles by Shaw and Ligon have extended this inning.
Hottest hitter on the roster in Colt Ward, hitting well above 500 at 516. He's 1 for 1 today. Can he come up in a clutch situation here? Mack sets, deals. Oh, backdoored him. That was a beauty.
Nasty pitch right there. That time he dropped down, arm slide a little bit. Had a backdoor bender that just caught the outside edge. A good hold that time by Ward. But he finds himself in a hole at 0-1.
Tried to spot him again, and the freshman takes this time to even things up.
Competitive pitch that time by Mack. Looked like he went with the fastball at the top of the zone on the edge. Just can't quite hit the black there. The count now even at 1-1.
Ward right on top of the plate, deep in the box. Takes strike 2. Again, when you get a steady diet of bender after bender, and again, Mack's done a good job of working, as you mentioned, Scoop, all 4 quadrants. He'll mix in that 80, 81-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's tough to time up.
Well, it really is, and that's why he's been so effective as the Apache ace this season.
1-2, low and away. All right, if you're Mack, what's your pitch selection here? And if you're Ward, what are you sitting on?
I think right now, Ward, certainly you got to expect the off-speed pitch right here, and but I think he's got to be willing to take that thing to the left side, which he is. That's a big reason he's hitting over 500. He'll use all parts of the field.
2-2 on the way. Boy, he dipped the barrel down. He got out on his front foot, but he just caught a piece of it.
Yeah, that's a good AB right there. That was a tough pitch from Mack. Not much you're going to do with that pitch. And fortunately for Colt Ward, he's able to fight it off and live for another pitch.
2-2. 2 down, 2 aboard. Defiance trailing by 2. Mack deals outside. Ball 3, and now the Bulldog base runners will have the advantage. They'll be moving on the pitch.
What a great at-bat here by Ward, and that's the last thing that Mack wanted to do. Now on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, they're going to get a head start, so a base hit to the outfield or a gap shot for sure. Going to score a couple runs.
The payoff pitch. Mack from the letters comes home. This one, a fly ball to left center field on his horse. Garza's there and makes the running catch. And the Defiance threat snuffed out here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs on 2 hits. no errors. The tying run left aboard. We're through 4. Fairview hanging on, up 3-1 as we head to the top of the 5th on DCTV Sports.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Trailing 3-1. We welcome you back atop the, well, not atop, inside the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union. Scoop, if you want to call the game atop, I guess we'll stretch out the mic cord for you, but my guess is you'd rather stay safe and sound inside.
I would. Great press box right here at Defiance, and cozy and comfy. And wow, what a game we're watching, as we're used to seeing here, is these two teams are really battling out, and right now Fairview looking good, but you know, Coach Andy Singer is certainly telling his guys, you know, it's great to have a lead, but to win games, you need to find ways to extend leads. So right now, that's the goal for Fairview. Yep. Try to put something on the board. Try to get a little separation you can here as we head into the late innings here.
Well, you saw the meeting on the mound after Smitty finished his warm-ups. As the top of the 5th, we'll bring up the top of the order for the Apaches. Elijah Aaron, their third trip to the plate today. Shady Fritch on deck. Cole Mack in the hole. Lefty-righty matchup. This is a rare one today. Comes right at him. Strike one. Or did it? I thought home plate umpire Jeff Simmons raised his right hand, but apparently not. The 1-0. This one, humpback liner, and a couple steps over to his right. Brez Zippel finally gets his first opportunity of the afternoon. One away.
Great pitch by Smitty. That time just kind of changed speeds, disrupted the timing of Aaron just enough as he hits that humpback liner to Brez Zippel. A quick first out for Smitty, trying to keep this a 3-1 ball game.
Back to another lefty as the freshman Shady Fritch. 0 for 2. Takes the first pitch heater downstairs. They appeal. He did not go. I'm looking where the field umpire is. Chad Johnsbach was hiding behind one of the support pillars here in the press box. He says strike one. The 0-1. Works him away.
And Brett, I know we say this a lot, but I think it needs to be said, especially for the young pitchers out there. You know, this is the ball game right now. There's been a total of 9 hits by both teams. Mm-hmm. One of those 9 hitters has come around and scored. You look at the other side, the freebies, there's been a total of just 3 freebies, 2 walks and 1 hit batsman. All 3 of those freebies have come across the score. I mean, that's just baseball, the way it works. But again, we talked about the importance of winning that freebie war.
Tough play. Zippel charges, throws off the back foot, and it's going to be wide. Rounding the bag and heading to second, Fritch slides in ahead of the throw, and that's going to be a rare error on the Defiance shortstop.
Boy, it really was. That time, Brez did everything right as far as getting position, feeling the baseball. But that time, that's what speed will do. The fact that Fritch runs well, he knew he didn't have much time. He kind of rushed that throw. And when that pulled Ligon off the base, he's unable to pick up. That's going to end up being a 2-base error. So right now, the Apaches with a chance to extend this lead. if they come up with a one-out single with Fritsch on second base.
Mack is 0 for 2 this afternoon. He has struck out swinging, that back in the first, and struck out looking in the third. Both at-bats ended the inning. We'll see what he can get done here with the leadoff. Check that. The second man up, now standing at second base. We'll want to know the count. Zipfel will try and cheat in behind the base runner. Smitty deals, low and away.
Yeah, this is not one of those situations where you're trying to pitch around a three-hitter Cole Mack. I mean, you've got Tim Brook on deck next, who certainly swings a hot bat, hitting .441. You've already struck Mack out twice. You need to come back here down 2-0 in the count.
Brings a good sinking fastball.
Boy, that was a great-looking pitch that time from Smitty. And that time, Mack, I think, was looking for something else because he's usually an early guy. He's usually a guy that's not going to get cheated at the plate. That time he let the 2-0 fastball go to the glove. Gets count to 2-1.
Smitty steps off. Mack steps out. Still plenty of ball left to be played, but we are working our way towards the second half of this ball game in the top of the fifth. Fairview leading by a pair. Smitty deals. He rode the ladder on him, and Mack can't lay off the letter-high fastball. Actually, was just above the letters. 2-2.
Well, we see Smitty with his inability to really control that off-speed pitcher this afternoon. He's been going to a few more fastballs, but that time I love the location. He went upstairs. That's not a pitch that anybody's going to be able to handle. Now he's got back in the count here at 2-2.
Checks the runner at second. Smitty from the stretch. Again, buries one, and Cody Shaw has been given a workout today.
And that's a huge play right there because you do not want Fritsch on third base with one out, especially when you're looking at your 3 and 4 hole hitters. Right now, a payoff pitch coming up.
Mack will see if he gets something to work with. Full count. Pitch on the way. Well, he took it, and he's unaware that's ball 4. He's so locked in, he's going to toss the bat aside and drop down to first.
Boy, that was a tough pitch to lay off. That looked awfully good there from Smitty, but just misses the inside corner. So one out walk to Mack will bring up Zane Timbrook. That does put the double play in order here for Defiance. Right now, Smitty's got to find a way to really command those pitches, control the count. He's fallen behind a lot of Fairview hitters here the last couple innings.
Timbrook digs in. War won his last trip up, came around to score the first of 2 runs in the fourth. He's also grounded out to second. Boy, he opened up, and he was swinging for the downs there as he foul tips this one into Shaw's mitt.
Well, Timbrook's typically an early guy. He swings a lot of first pitch offerings, and that time a nasty slider from Smitty. And Timbrook swings over the top.
Timbrook with 14 RBI on the season. Number 15 is in scoring position. It's a huge insurance run as it looked like Smitty, did he take a little something off of that pitch?
It's a changeup, yeah. Good-looking changeup that time by Smitty. He hasn't thrown that pitch a ton here today, but when he has, it's been awfully effective. And that one was perfectly located. Did exactly what it was intended to do. That's get Timbrook out in front.
0-2 to the Apache cleanup man. Signal down. Smitty with a big pitch on the way upstairs. Yeah, he has, I don't want to say labored Scoop, but he's had to rely almost predominantly on his fastball here this afternoon.
Yeah, he has. And this is where you have to battle. There's some days you don't have your best stuff, so you got to compete. Right now, I'm really surprised that Khalil Ligon is kind of playing in the hip pocket there first base with a left-handed hitter who likes to pull the baseball.
This one in the cellar and outside. Shaw with a nice stop, and now this is a crucial pitch here. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yes, it is. Again, you have a dangerous hitter, a guy that leads the Apaches in doubles with 8, has good wheels. Again, a .441 batting average, second best on the team, just 2 points behind Elijah Aaron.
Smitty kicks, deals, short hops. Cody Shaw again. Tremendous stop by the senior catcher, and the count is now full.
I'm not sure how Shaw gloved that. We know how good a defensive catcher he is, but that time he just kind of took a stab with his glove, and he came up with the baseball. But now another 3-ball count here for Smitty.
Payoff pitch. Smitty deals. Chopper right side. Ligon. There'll only be a play at first. He flips. The runners advance. Second and third. Boy, that had danger written all over it, and Gomez did win the race to the bag. So 2 down, but now both runners in scoring position.
What a tremendous play by Noah Gomez. He completely bailed out the Defiance defense as Smitty was tardy getting over. Ligon wasn't going to get there in time, but Gomez alertly covers first base. A rare 3-4 put out at first base. But boy, an awfully big one. Is now Defiance just 1 out away from getting out of this 5th inning unscathed. But a base hit here could give Fairview that separation they desperately want.
Grinnell Dennis 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Checks his swing. Home plate umpire Jeff Simmons says strike 1.
Yeah, and a good hold there by Grinnell Dennis. Just tip your cap that time to Smitty, who made a quality pitch on the outer edge at the knees.
This is where you trust your senior catcher. Do you dare bury one here? Just come with the heat as this one misses in the cellar. 1-1.
Yeah, once again, that was not much more than 60 feet 6 inches there as Shaw was able to glove that right before it hit the turf. But again, we've seen that pitch end up down in the cellar time and time again here this afternoon.
1-1. Crucial moment in this ball game. Above the letters, ball 2. Fairview leading Defiance 3-1. 2 down here in the top of the 5th, but the Apaches looking to blow it open with 2 runners in scoring position, and the 5-hole Draven Grinnell Dennis looking to come up with a clutch hit. Smitty trying to shut the door. 2-1 on the way. Ball 3.
Right now, if you're Smitty, you don't have to give in. Right now, it's 3-1. You don't want to put something down Main Street that Grinnell Dennis can turn into 2 RBIs. So right now, hit your spot, make a quality pitch.
Dennis refusing to step out of the box from the letters. Smitty set. Deals. Chopped foul. Sauce for the goose, my friend. Full count.
Yeah, that was the quality pitch from Smitty, and that time we saw a healthy swing from Grinnell Dennis, the junior, who's not going to get cheated. And now that gets the count to 3-2. But I think you're the same thing right here for Smitty. You don't have to give in. You got a base to work with. You do have a good hitter in the freshman, Anthony Singer, on deck.
Payoff pitch. Smitty from the letters. Deep breath. Comes home. Got him! Strike 3. Grinnell Dennis, not a word as he just tips his cap to Garrison Smitty for a Premier Bank strikeout to snuff out the Fairview threat here in the top of the 5th. And Defiance's dugout breathes a huge sigh of relief. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left aboard in scoring position. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Calling the Bulldog offense. They trail the Apaches 3-1. We're back in 60 seconds. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
There we go. He's broadcasted from higher heights than that. Our cameraman, Richard, he's saying, give me a challenge today. How about the peak of Mount Everest? We'll give that to you next game, Richard. We welcome you back to Defiance. Bottom of the 5th. Still some time, but the Bulldogs offense needs to get something going as they trail Fairview 3-1. It will be 8-9, and then the leadoff men, Rubio, Ziffel, and Hutchison, trying to solve Cole Mack. This one in the cellar, make it 2 balls and no strikes.
This is where you need those table setters before the lineup turns over to Hutchinson, Stockman, and Borton. Right now, Rubio set good 2-0.
Whoa, up around the chin. Leans back, ball 3. Bulldogs left 2 aboard an inning ago. And we're going to have a trip to the mound here from Coach Singer. Cole Mack, there has been some action in the Fairview bullpen over the last 2 innings, and at a 3-0 count, this would be a very interesting moment to make a change. But as we speak, there are some stirrings now again in the Fairview bullpen.
Yeah, right now, I think this being his horse, he's going to stay with them here a little bit longer. Again, just kind of reminder, guys, that, hey, just right now our defense is playing solid. They have not really hit us hard yet. Has continued to pound the zone here, win that next pitch, and again, trust your defense. Last thing you want to do is kind of wake a sleeping giant, and that's what this Defiance offense can be. Right now, they've had just one freebie issued, that walk that happened back in the second inning to Khalil Ligon. Since that time, Cole Mack has really pounded and attacked the zone.
Cash King is the man warming up, and on a 3-0, well, I tell you what, if you're going to hit me a pitch earlier. It doesn't matter. I will say this, though, too. Abel Rubio is as tough as they come, and he will strut his way down to first base after wearing one for the team. And here we go.
Yeah, great job by Rubio. He's just a hard-nosed kid out there, a kid that likes to compete, loves to win. And right now, he did his part here to lead things off here in this 5th inning. And now Brez Ziffel, a guy that might try to push his way on with the bunt here.
Well, he shows bunt. He's 0 for 1. Coolman thought about a snap throw down to first, but thinks the better of it.
Yeah, right now, Anthony Singer, the third baseman for Fairview, I mean, he's like 20 feet up on the grass, almost daring Brez Ziffel to swing away. So we'll see if this affects the strategy with Coach Rick Weaver and Brez Ziffel.
Rubio, decent lead at first, but not hefty. Ziffel digs back in with a 1-0 count. Boy, that ball moved across the plate. He is tough to pick up.
Yeah, again, just a filthy pitch. It started inside and ended outside, but it caught the edge.
This one, Oppo, it's going to get down into the right center field gap, takes a high turf hop, played well by Tim Brook. He didn't have to do much with it. That was gently guided into right field, but it counts like a screaming liner off the bat anyway. And here we go again. Second straight inning. The Bulldogs have the tying run aboard.
Great job by Brez Ziffel. That had to feel good because he's seen some nasty pitches that time. Didn't try to do too much, but a good Oppo shot. And that may be the end of the day for Cole Mack as that turns the lineup over to Logan Hutchison. Remember, Defiance now through the lineup has seen this guy twice.
Yep.
There he's going to take the baseball. But again, what a performance by the senior Cole Mack here this afternoon as he leaves with a 3-1 Fairview advantage. But certainly the Bulldogs with their best scoring opportunity of the night, staring them down the face right now.
Well, the ball is going to be handed off to reliever Cash King. They're just buying a little extra time here. Tell you what, we're going to take a quick break for this Arthur Law Firm call to the bullpen. Passionate, professional, personal. Learn more at arthurlawfirm.com. We'll have the name and numbers. Actually, we're not going to have Cash King. We'll tell you all about the new hurler, Anthony Singer, when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Anthony Singer, the young freshman, moves from third base to pitcher, and it looks like it's going to be a straight switch as Mack. So Mack moves. He stays in the game, but he moves to the hot corner. And Scoop is looking over the stats and the line on this season for the freshman reliever.
Well, for Singer, this will be his 8th appearance on the season. He's gone.
Oh, they've got the daylight play on, and a heads-up move by Rubio to get back in.
Boy, that was awfully close. A little bit more close than the likings that I think Coach Rick Weaver wanted, but he comes in. Been very impressive. He's got 7 wins without a loss on the season. He's had a few appearances out of the bullpen. This is one of them here.
Squaring to bunt, and this is unique as they've got the shortstop Aaron charging, and they're keeping Mack back at third. So Scoop unorthodox here by Fairview.
Yeah, very strange scenario looking at the bunt situation.
Oh, Hutch squares again. He's making no secrets about it, and he cannot come up with it here. Well, both coaches are playing chess right now. The only question is, which team can execute? 0-2. Hutch asking for time. We had a ball somehow get onto the field. Okay, the bullpen catcher and the extra security couldn't stop it. So
that came from the Fairview bullpen that time. As Singer right now probably trying to get him out of the inning and turn it over to the bullpen.
Hutchison digging back in. Late swing, liner off the fence down the left field line. Count remains 0-2. You've got good speed at second in Rubio. You have very good speed at first in Zipfel. Right now the tying run is at first with nobody out here for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 5th. Leadoff man, Logan Hutchinson, trying to keep the line moving. Just kind of swats at that ball. This could be trouble down the left field line. It's going to bounce foul. I will say this, Shady Fritsch only has one gear, and he knows only one way. He was going to lay out for that ball, fair or foul.
Yeah, that ball was a long way away, but again, you love the effort. I'd rather have it that way and turn it down a little bit than try to turn it up. So a gutty play that time. Fortunately for the Apaches, that ball landed on the foul side of that left field line. In other words, that could have possibly tied this ball game up.
As it stands, still 0-2 with a couple pitches fouled away. Hutchison 1 for 2 this afternoon with an infield single and a strikeout looking. Trying to come up in a clutch situation here as he takes high.
Yeah, not a bad pitch that time by Singer. Just trying to move the ball around to give Hutchison something else to think about.
The 1-2. Singer comes home, misses high again. The intensity here building at Defiance. Fairview hanging on to a 2-run lead. It's a non-conference matchup. This has a state tournament feel to it, doesn't it?
Well, it does. Both these teams playing like it is a state tournament, which you love to see. I mean, that's how you're going to get better. You can't take a playoff, especially in a contest like this.
Singer from the stretch pulls a string, and Hutch just trying to keep a piece of it. Stay in the batter's box. That's the third 2-strike pitch he's fouled away.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's seen some tough pitches here from the freshman Singer, but he's a guy that knows how to fight them off. He knows how to go the other way. Does a great job of handling the bat.
2-2 will do it again. Singer comes home. This one inside out swing through the hole between short and third. Everybody will be held up as Fritsch gets the ball quickly back on the infield. What a great piece of hitting to go the opposite way for Logan Hutchinson. His second single of the afternoon loads the bases.
Well, if you look up quality at bat, right there is what you're going to see. That really just personifies what a quality bat is all about. He did a great job of spoiling a couple of really good pitches from Singer. And then he saw another tough pitch, but again, just takes it the other way, something we've seen him do time and time again. Wasn't hit hard, but that ball found some real estate out there in left field.
First pitch swinging, liner into right center field off the bat of Stockman, and it's booted by Timbrook. 1 run is home. Zippa will slide home safely. Everybody else at the corners, and we're tied at 3.
Wow, what a job by Stockman. He comes out swinging right away, is able to drive that into right field. And wow, has this game turned on a dime here after Fairview was cruising up 3-1. A hit batsman kind of started the parade, but now 3 consecutive singles by the Defiance offense. They've knotted things up, looking for more. Still no one out here in this 5th inning.
Brady Borton will dig in now with a chance to give the Bulldogs the lead as we're tied at 3.
And once again, that freebie, that hit batsman has come around to score. That's practically every freebie he has here this afternoon.
Dennis holding the runner at first. Singer will step off. Now, it was a high leverage situation before, Scoop, now even more so. As Singer deals and Borton takes strike 1, they're going to send the runner in standing up. Olinger comes in to cut it off. The double steal was not on. And so all of a sudden, Defiance has both runners now in scoring position as Borton looking at an 0-1 count.
Great execution that time by Defiance, and particularly Colin Stockman. That was a delayed steal. And we talked about how in this situation, you definitely have a little bit more leniency, as now Fairview will have to bring the infield in tight.
Off speed, great backhanded stop by Kuhlman. Again with the infield in, Brady Borton at the plate. Borton hitting .426 entering today's game. High chopper up the middle, it will get through. 1 run is home. Stockman being waved around third, head first in, he will score. A 2 RBI single for Brady Borton. The deadlock is broken as the Bulldogs now on top 5-3.
And how about Defiance and these seniors? They just continue to deliver. As this time, Brady Borton comes up with the 4th consecutive Defiance hit. And now all of a sudden what was a 3-1 Fairview advantage turns into a 5-3 Defiance advantage. Still with no one out here in this 5th inning.
Here's Gomez digging in. The freshman's going to have to work his way out of it. First pitch swinging, popped up, foul, drifting, right place, out of play.
And right now, if you're Singer, you got to make sure that Borton stays right there on first base. Keep the double play in order. Make sure he's not swiping the base on you.
He's got wheels. Late decision to swing there by Gomez, and he fouls it straight back. He's down on the count now 0-2.
Yeah, that time Gomez out in front, so he did the right thing. He tried to go the other way. But now he's in a hole 0-2. So right now I think you just try to be situational. Make sure you find a way to advance Gomez, whether it be a slow roller base knock or something, maybe a swinging bunt to any variety. You got good speed at both ends here for the Bulldogs.
With an 0-2 count, you figure some type of breaking pitch, and that's a heads-up move by Singer to throw over to first.
Well, you have to keep him in check. We know that Kuhlman's thrown out 2 Defiance would-be base stealers this afternoon, but right now up 2 with good speed. And a pitcher that's not that quick to home plate. You've got.
And he's going as this one chopped foul, third base side.
Yeah, that's a huge difference between Cole Mack out there, his time from home to the glove, compared to the freshman Anthony Singer. So I certainly understand why you're sending a guy like Borton.
This has just been a tremendous high school baseball game. 0-2. Singer comes home. Ground ball. This has got eyes. It will get through and into left field. And the hit parade continues. Runners at first and second. Still nobody down for Cody Shaw.
And another great at-bat by Defiance. Even when they've gotten 2 strikes on them, they haven't panicked. They haven't tried to do too much. And, wow, you talk about hitting being contagious. 5 consecutive singles here for Defiance. And that'll spell the end of the day, at least on the bump, for Anthony Singer.
Oh, I love this playover music. I suggested it to Nate. He had never heard of Lucky Boy's Confusion or Hey Driver, and he's played it twice today. As we're going to have an Arthur Law Firm call to the bullpen. This is going to be Jonah Schillinger, I believe. Schillinger, all right. Schillinger, the third pitcher of the afternoon. Whoa, and he almost twisted his ankle off. Boy, he's bringing a little bit of heat right now. And, Scoop, you've got the line on the young sophomore.
Yeah, for Schillinger this season, he's gone 11 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 14 hits. During that time, he has 15 strikeouts to just 4 walks, so a nearly 4-to-1 strikeout-walk ratio. He comes in with 1 save. He has a 3.09 ERA. He does not have a decision this year, and right now he just has to find a way to put out this fire as the Defiance offense has erupted here in this 5th inning.
All right, so what defensively looks like is going to take place here is Singer will move back to third base, and I'm looking to see if Mack remains in the ball game, and I don't see him. So, looks like Cole Mack is not on the field at this point in time, and indeed Singer moving back to third base.
Yeah, right now they have to find a way to maybe potentially get a double play ball here.
Yes.
Now remember, there's still
nobody out.
Not an out. Abel Rubio started this with a hit batsman, followed by a Brez Zippel single. Then when the lineup turned over the third time around, has proved to be a charm here for Defiance. Hutchinson, Stockman, Borton, and Gomez have all singled.
Yep. Shaw stepping in, and Coach Singer with some final instructions for Schillinger. Now again, Scoop, you're still within arm's reach here if you're Fairview. It's a 2-run ball game. You've shown some offense here this afternoon, but I would say it's not going out on too flimsy a limb to say you can't allow any more this inning.
Well, you're right. Remember, Fairview was just
they were in command.
Feet away from making that 3-1 lead, 5-1 that last inning, other than Smitty was able to make a couple quality pitches to minimize things.
Shaw 1 for 2. He's showing bunt, and he pulls back and takes above the visor.
Oh, I like this. You got a new pitcher. You got a freshman third baseman. Defiance, I think, will probably charge Aaron from shortstop on the bunt. He's cheating up on the grass.
He's coming and coming hard. And Shaw does not show bunt, but he takes for strike 1.
Well, that time Shaw showing a little slash action. He faked the bunt, drew Aaron in. Then he went back to swing, didn't like the pitch, although it ended up being a strike called at the knees.
If you're charging the way Aaron is, you'd better hope Cody Shaw doesn't slash. You'll see your life flash before your eyes as he is slashing. Oh, look what I found by Singer at third. He wins the race to the bag, and he fakes the throw to first. Wow, That's just well executed on both ends, but just a little bit better by the freshman third baseman for Fairview.
It was. Shaw just missed. That time he pulled that baseball to Singer at third base. Remember, it's been the shortstop, Aaron, that's been charging. Nice job by Singer. He did everything right. He was able to get the force out, and instead of faking a throw, he went with the arm fake, took a peek at the lead runner, who was not drifting off the base, but a big first out there for the Apaches.
Still not out of the woods. Runners at first and second with only one down for Khalil Ligon. Ligon 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and a run scored. Defiance has plated 4 runs here in the bottom of the frame, looking for more. Chopper up the middle. Nice snare by Aaron, but the throw is wide. And are they going to give the extra base? It certainly looks like the lead runner was already at third, so it looks like, Gomez will score.
Top play there. Looked like that was the doctor ordered there for Fairview. They got the potential inning double play ball. And when Aaron fielded it cleanly with his foot on the bag, an easy second out, but the throw off the mark. And that E6 allows Defiance to score as Noah Gomez will be awarded home plate. Defiance now has tacked on another.
They have scored 5 runs. Check that. Yes, 5, am I correct?
That's what I have in my book. Should be 5 runs.
All right.
In this inning, you throw one in the second. Should be a 6-3 Defiance.
It is. The scoreboard, it's a little too advantageous there. Put one extra one up, and I don't trust myself anymore. As this one buried in the dirt, about a 58-footer. Kuhlman blocks it, but it bounces off his chest protector and up the third base line, and that is going to allow an extra 90 feet. All right, so you've got another insurance run just 90 feet away. This one squirts away, and there'll be a play at the plate. Not in time. Sliding home safely. We had a courtesy runner there. I missed it. It is Sam Gershutz that has just scored.
Great job by Gershutz. That ball ricocheted hard off the patty behind home plate, so he didn't have a lot of margin of error, but with his speed, got a great jump. He's able to get there ahead of Scheninger. Defiance has pushed across one more here with 2 outs.
That's a freebie. So the base is empty now. They're calling that a wild pitch or a pass ball?
Wild pitch.
Okay.
Right now is the only Bulldog that has not batted here in this 5th inning.
Colt Ward swings and misses, 0-2. Now should he reach Abel Rubio in the on-deck circle, he opened up this frame. It will mean that the Bulldogs have hit around. We'll see if they can do it. 7-3 Defiance. What a turn of events here in this bottom of the 5th, Scoop. I mean, Cole Mack took the took the mound this inning with a 2-run lead and really was just in command, and then all of a sudden the bottom just fell out. This is the 3rd pitcher of the inning for Fairview. This one a hard hit ground ball to first, backhanded snare off the dirt by Dennis, and he'll kick the cushion for the unassisted putout, and that will do it for Defiance here in the 5th. Not before the Bulldogs come up big. 6 runs, 5 hits. We've got 1 error, although it was a big one on the throw, and nobody left the board. We are through 5, just like that. Bulldogs up by 4, 7-3. Top of the 6th when we return. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at Defiance, look at that shot. That is something that you would see out of a Bob Ross painting. The canvas is coated with an even liquid white coat and slick and ready to go. Wow. I'm not sure. Is that Sean that got that for us? That was a masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. Who says we just do sports here at DCTV? That was art, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back. Speaking of art, wow, it was a masterful offensive bottom of the fifth for the hosts as they went into it trailing by 2. They come out of it leading by 4. And Garrison Smitty, after a long layoff, we'll see if he can warm back up as he will face 6, 7, and 8 Singer, Palladino, and Kuhlman here in the Fairview 6th. Lefty-righty matchup. Boy, busted him inside. That was one of the things that Coach Weaver and I were talking about during his pregame interview, the baseline offensive philosophy that Defiance and really most coaches, but especially at the high school level, have for their hitters nowadays, center or middle away. Most pitchers, especially at the prep level, just don't want to risk busting you inside. Smitty does so to get a first pitch strike, and now this one fouled away 0-2. Why is that, in your opinion? Why has that change been made over the last, I'd say, 5, certainly 10 years?
It's a great question. I'm not sure I've got a great answer for it, honestly. I mean, that's...
We were always coached to look center in.
It certainly is that way, and we've had that conversation with a few coaches. I mean, we've heard some various opinions on it.
Liner deep at second, knocked down by Gomez from his rear end throws. Oh, what a pick by Ligon! My goodness, what a play. Staying with it first by Gomez and Ligon on the other end, and that isn't just a bang-bang. That is doing your job at both ends.
There's 2 great plays in one right there. The first, as you mentioned, Brent, Noah Gomez going to his left there with that nifty glove, nice little slide. But how about the pick there by Ligon, who continues to make a bid for the all-scoop team with that glove there at first base.
Oh, my goodness. I'll have to talk with Khalil because I know baseball is the love. That's the sport he wants to play at the next level is a check swing, and Palladino is hit. But are they going to say the swing takes precedent here? Is that going to be a dead ball strike, or is he going to take first base?
That's going to be a strike. They ruled out a swing.
Oh, and he is hurt.
That will negate the hit batsman.
And now Coach Singer, you can't see him in this camera shot, but he is coming in to talk with home plate umpire Jeff Simmons, and he wants him to confer with Chad Donsbach, and they are going to reverse the call and say hit batsman. That hit him. I'm not sure if it was the forearm or the wrist, but he is really shaking that thing out.
And now we're going to have Rick Weaver going out to have a word as well, and I certainly understand.
Sure.
If you're going to call a swing, you call a swing. If you're not sure, then you check it at first base to see if you had a swing. But all in all, I think they did get it right. I think they got it right.
Well, now Coach Singer's coming in and wants clarification, or is he going to have a courtesy runner? And it looks like that's going to be the case. And is this number 29, 25? Turn around, young man. I can't quite get him. Have a camera operator help us out here. Maybe first base. Or pardon me, yeah, third base. Get a shot at him. It is 29. There we go. And that is going to be Noah Schillinger.
Playing first base for the Apaches, number 29, Noah Schillinger.
Palladino, I'm guessing his day might be done.
Yeah, with the Apaches have sectional play on Friday with Hicksville. I'm sure they want to check him out, make sure there's
absolutely
no injuries, get some ice on it right away.
Well, you want this one, no mistake, but Scoop, you also have to be playing the larger picture if you're both coaches.
Oh, no doubt. You want this one because you want your guys to continue to compete, continue to build momentum going into that tournament, but you also know you want to go into that tournament fully loaded.
So here's Kuhlman digging in as he takes low.
Remember, Smitty's getting high pitch count.
Yes.
He's been a guy he still has had, an issue with command for those secondary pitches.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss. My portion of the window was blocked. If you can crane your neck down the right field line, it looks like there is action in the Defiance bullpen. Can you tell who's throwing? I'll give you my binoculars. This is where we might need Richard on the third base dugout to maybe give us a shot of the Defiance bullpen after this pitch. Oh, that's just off the mark.
Might be Brez down there. I couldn't really tell. It's tough angle getting out there.
Well, Brez right now is at shortstop. Can we tell? It's just toward the top end there. It's long toss, and I cannot tell. It's a righty.
I'm trying to think. I don't know the camo numbers. I did get a number here.
I'll give you the camo numbers. We got a second roster. Is it Gershutz possibly? Gershutz was 9. Here you go.
It's a high-numbered team. That's all I can see. I can see the 1 on the left side. I can't see the number on the right side.
This one laced into right field. Well played, though, by Stockman as he hauls it in. 2 away.
Great job by Stockman. He was in the right position, but he read it like a book. He got a great jump off the baseball. The ball was hit well, but a second out there for this Fairview offense. Trying to muster something here with 2 outs and a runner on first. In Noah Scheninger.
So that'll bring up Logan Olinger, the 9-hole. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout looking and a ground out to second. Are you sure? Okay, we're being told that it's James Tracy, number 19.
Okay, it was a high team number, so that would qualify. I would say that's correct.
The 1-0 popped up into shallow left field. That wind is making it difficult for Rubio, and he has to come a long way, and he can't make the catch. I think you got to give him – boy, you tell me how you're going to score that. Rubio looks like he might be shaken up a little bit, but he appears to be all right. And I think that's going to go down as a base hit, as I don't see a second error being put up on the scoreboard. But with that wind blowing in.
That's the 5th hit. They just marked it up. So that wind played havoc on that baseball. It was dancing all over. Rubio tried to stay with it. But a break for the Apaches, and that extends this 6th inning here for Fairview.
Well, Scheninger standing at third, so we've got runners at the corners for the top of the order, and Elijah Arend. I don't know what else you can do there. It sounded like, and again, I'm going to assume with the way Zippel peeled off, that Rubio had called for it. But you saw him put it into overdrive as that wind, again, a rarity today, blowing in very strong from left field, and it just made it an impossible catch. Arend 1 for 3 with a double. He lined out to short his last trip up. Smitty looking to get out of the inning unscathed as this one, a low hopper, it bounces off of Hutchison. Wow. And talk about pinball this inning for Fairview, as that's how you manufacture a run. Noah Scheninger scores, and that makes it a new ball game at 7-4.
Well, good things happen when you put the ball in play, and that time Aaron looked like he was going to roll it over to Hutchison. That'll go down as an E5, and that'll bring home an Apache.
And all of a sudden, with runners at first and second, the freshman Shady Fritz steps in as the tying run. Smitty trying to battle his way out of this. Downstairs. Now, this is where if you're Defiance, you just got to lock back in. We saw this happen last week, although it happened a little bit earlier in their ball game against Bryan. But Coach Weaver's talked about how this season's been a grind, and sometimes it's got to chew a little tail to get the guys to lock back in. Ground ball, right side. Gomez out of the glove. Look at that, Mr. Fancy Leatherman. Flipping to Zipfel at second, and he says, I'm as cool as the other side of the pillow. Score at 4-6 on the putout, and that will do it for Fairview here in the top of the 6th. Apaches get 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error. They leave 1 aboard. We are through 5.5. Bulldogs still up by 3. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
They get a good look from our third base camera dugout, and now we'll switch to center field. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Defiance, 7 runs on 11 hits, 3 errors. Fairview, 4 runs on 4 hits, couple of errors. Bulldogs would like a little bit more insurance before trying to wrap this one up in the top half of the 7th. They almost hit around an inning ago. It will be 8, 9, and then the leadoff man. This time facing Schinniger. It's the third pitcher, of the afternoon, and Abel Rubio hit by a pitch for the second straight inning as the leadoff man will trot down to first.
Well, it worked out well just an inning ago where he did the same thing. He led off the 5th inning with a hit by pitch, came around to score. And right now, Defiance trying to answer that run they gave up in the top half of this inning as Rubio reaches with the freebie.
Zipfel 1 for 2, singled, scored 1 of 6 runs. A frame ago, this one up the first baseline. Schinniger got it, but it does advance the runner to second base with 1 away.
A nice execution that time by Brez Zipfel. We mentioned his offensive numbers haven't been prolific, so kind of an obvious bunt situation that time there for Defiance. They execute it well. And that moves Rubio in the scoring position as the lineup turns over to the senior Logan Hutchinson.
He's having himself a day, 2 for 3 with a run scored. Takes inside. Tell you what, Fairview came in here, Scoop, and you knew they weren't going to be intimidated, a 20-win team themselves, and they punched Defiance right in the jaw. And it took the Bulldogs a few innings, but they have responded. Is this one a beautiful bunt up the third base line? Schinniger realizes that he's going to have to eat the baseball. That will be the 3rd hit of the day for Hutchinson. It also advances Rubio to 3rd.
Well, that's high IQ baseball right there. Logan Hutchinson, we've seen him do that time and time again. One of those great scenarios to do that in. And we've seen Fairview not charge the third baseman on bunts all afternoon long. That time a perfectly placed drag bunt to the third base side. Right now Defiance has something cooking. Runners on the corner, 1 out.
So here's Stockman digging in.
We might see another bunt here as well.
Quite possibly. Tell you what, if you got it going, make them field their position. Although Stockman doesn't show here, and he takes strike 1. Cohen 1 for 3, singled, brought home 2 runs an inning ago.
Now, this is one of those safety squeeze scenarios. First baseman Grinnell Dennis has to hold Hutchison on first base, so any kind of push bunt to the right side should easily plate Rubio from third.
Singer is deep. Tell you what, with both corners really back, you could push or drag here and have the same effect.
You've got either side available, certainly, but you go to the first side, you can, at third base, you can really come off. And, again, if it's out of the strike zone, it's not a suicide squeeze. You can go right back to third base.
A 1-0, and he squares the bunt and pops this one back off the safety caging.
Yeah, that time that was a safety squeeze, but that time it looked like Stockman maybe took off to run a little bit too soon. You want to see it down. I know he's thinking, hey, I can beat this out too, but first things first. And now Schiniger looks to deal one more time. I would expect he's still going to be bunting here. We'll see.
1-1. He doesn't need to. Runner takes off. They'll snap throw down to third. Heads up play by Rubio, not to bite. And now Defiance keeping the pressure on. Both runners in scoring position. And ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Stockman should be looking for something to work with.
Yeah, right now, be situational. You got the infield deep. Any ground ball should score a run. Anything you can lift to the outfield should also be well enough to score Rubio from third.
The 2-1. Schiniger deals. Tries to backdoor him, but that one floats upstairs. Ball 3. Schiniger with a deep breath. There is double barrel action in the Fairview bullpen. Cash King has been warming up for what seems like forever, and we're going to have time being called here as yet again another ball scoots away from the Fairview bullpen. And fortunately, home plate umpire.
Well, I'm not sure we had time on that. It looked like he stopped mid-motion. There must have been time called somewhere. I did not see time granted.
It's ironic as I'm looking up there to call double barrel action to see Cash King's ball basically squirt away, but at this point, 3-1, we'll do it again. Schiniger deals, fouled straight back in the count now full.
Great job by Stockman. Good looking fastball that time from Schiniger. He's able to fight it off. Remains a 3-2 count.
Stockman, he's been pesky here this afternoon. Looking to get something done here, chase home a couple base runners. Payoff pitch. Inside, did that hit him? It just gets away. There's going to be a play at the plate. The dive by Kuhlman. What a job to take the hand away by Rubio and gets in safely. Both players laid out head first. It looked like Kuhlman got there first, and Rubio took the hand away and used his opposite hand to get home safely.
Yeah, a little decoy that time. Clearly looked like Kuhlman had beat him to the plate, but he pulls the right hand back. He slips the left hand around on the backside.
Now that should be ball 4, should it not? So, okay, the count now is 3-2.
Yeah, the board was wrong. They did have it right, and that's the reason I think he went out of the bunt scenario is the fact he had 2 strikes early.
So now it's full count, and Stockman sends a ground ball to second. Oh, from his knees. What a pick by Olinger. It will score the run, though, as Hutchison comes home. Now we'll make it 9-4. Defiance.
A great execution by Defiance. You know, they took advantage of the freebie. They got the hit batsman, a great sack bunt by Brez Ziffel. Then Hutchison with that big hit. And, again, they took advantage of the wild pitch and then good situational hitting by Stockman. 2 big runs here for the Bulldogs to add a little insurance.
Base is empty with 2 down. Here's Brady Borton. Brady, 1 for 3. Single, brought home a couple of RBIs an inning ago, and that was a do I swing or do I not? And he offers for strike 1.
Once again, Defiance, just a total team effort here this afternoon. The fact that 8 of the 9 starters have at least a hit. The one that doesn't is Rubio, who's been hit by a pitch twice and scored 2 runs. So you talk about getting production 1 through 9. We've seen that from Defiance here this afternoon. In fact, the 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters have combined to score 5 big Bulldog runs.
This one, a chopper back to the mound. Schinninger's got it. He will flip to first, and that will do it. Not before the Bulldogs tack on some much-needed insurance. 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left the board. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Fairview needs a handful, or this one is in the books. We'll have it for you when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Yeah. Pups at the park. What is that, like a labradoodle? A golden doodle? Okay. Why not?
Some type of doodle. It's not an Aussie doodle because I have an Aussie doodle, but it's close. I'm trying to think what it would be.
Well, they've got room to run here at this complex. Plenty of space at Defiance. Speaking of room to run, we thought Garrison Smitty's day was done, but I'm guessing with that extra 2-run advantage or padding that his teammates offered him to make it a 5-run lead, Coach Weaver and company are going to allow Garrison Smitty the chance to throw a complete game here. By our count, he's above 100 on the pitch count, but if you can be an economy of pitches in this inning, Scoop, why not let him finish it out?
Yeah, and again, the fact he doesn't have a lot of reps. He missed all last season and kind of working his way back in the lineup this season. So wants to stretch him out here. He's certainly not going to overuse him, but I certainly understand the math here. Try to build his arm up. He's a guy you're going to need for a deep tournament run.
So Schinninger will be the leadoff man here. Digging in from the right side, looking at a 1-0 count. We'll get you the new Apache hitter's stats as he's looking at 1-1. Jonah hitting .278 on the season. Did I see an on-base percentage of .472? Shaw wanted to frame that up, and it just glanced off his mitt.
Yeah, .422 on-base percentage, awfully impressive.
They know how to get aboard.
Guy that's got a couple doubles and a triple, so he certainly has some power and pop in that bat.
2-1. Smitty, a little bit more deliberate with this. And outside. Not sure if our third base cameraman, Richard, after this pitch can get us a look at the Defiance bullpen, but there still is action in it. We're going to try and identify who's throwing. As this one's a strike, and whoops, pick that bat back up, Jacob Schinninger. Let's take a peek. He's got his glove over his number. Well, we just can't quite tell, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if his services are needed. 3-2. Got him looking. Strike 3. A backwards K for a Premier Bank strikeout to open up the 7th.
Great job by Smitty. Come from behind there. He fell behind in the count, but Mel made a couple quality pitches. The first one on the 3-1, and that time on the payoff. And Smitty now with 8 Premier Bank strikeouts on the afternoon.
So here's Tim Brook digging in. And we are being told, again, that it is number 19. That would be James Tracy. All right. And here comes Coach Weaver. Boy, this is interesting. You get the first out, and then all of a sudden, he's trotting. He's getting his 10,000 steps in here this afternoon.
If you've seen Rick Weaver, that's a sprint for him. Might be a trot for you and I. That's a sprint for Rick.
I got a meeting on the mound. Is this to buy time? Is this to find out how he's feeling? Did they see something? I mean, he's 2 outs away from a complete game. And whatever it is, it's a pep talk. If you're Smitty, just bear down. You don't have to be a strikeout guru despite getting one to lead off this inning. There's nothing wrong with pitching to contact for the last 2 outs of the ball game.
Yeah, right now you want the ball in your hands. You want to finish the deal. You've got your team in a good spot here, up big here in the last inning. 2 outs away, but sometimes those last 2 outs are the hardest outs in baseball, as we all know.
Tim Brook 0 for 2. He's also worn 1. Scored back in the 4th inning. 0-1 the count. Lefty deals, hard hit ground ball at first. Nice job by Ligon to stay on it. He'll kick the cushion 2 away.
A nice job by Ligon. You know, your job, keep it in front. Once he did, he was able to take it himself.
If I'm an area coach, D2, certainly D3, and again, you can go to JUCO or NAIA. You don't need everybody, but there's got to be a team within a couple-hour drive here that Khalil Ligon could fill out a roster spot.
Well, you know what a great athlete is, and once he decides to just narrow it down to one thing, I mean, he's got a high upside. We've seen him firsthand in multiple sports here at Defiance, but again, certainly a lot to like about this young man. We've already seen that the great glove he has there at first base, and it certainly understands the game's got a good IQ on him.
So with 2 down, Apache's down to their final out. Dennis now facing his final strike. Dennis 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Smitty trying to finish off a complete game. 0-2 on the way. Ground ball hugging the line, just foul as it crosses the first base bag.
I think Ligon trying to talk first base umpire Chad Donsbach into that call, but hate to say it, but Donsbach actually got that one right.
As much as it pains you, huh? The 0-2. Smitty trying to finish up strong. Got him swinging, strike 3. A Premier Bank strikeout. That will end the ball game. And make no mistake, folks, Defiance had to earn this one. 9 runs on 11 hits. They do commit 3 errors, 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors for Fairview, but with it, Senior Day celebrated in style by a class of a baker's dozen as the Bulldogs defeat the Apaches 9-4. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with our Mark Moats Ford game cap, recap, and summary, and our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Back at Defiance, you get a good look from our center field camera as senior day being celebrated. Tell you what, it was a little bit of a dicey proposition through the early going here. Tip your cap to Fairview. They came out, and again, this is a 20-win team. I know smaller school, smaller conference, but as I'm looking at Coach Singer and Coach Weaver exchanging pleasantries down the first base line, Coach Weaver knew it, and Fairview came to play. They punched Defiance squarely in the jaw in the early going. As a matter of fact, they took a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the fifth, and that's when Defiance, second, and then became the third trip through the lineup scoop, really took over. They exploded for a 6 spot in the bottom of the fifth and didn't look back on their way to a 9-4 victory.
Well, that was good to see, and I think Coach Weaver, all in all, had to be pleased. Certainly there's reasons to come back and get better tomorrow, but the fact that they're coming off their first loss of the season after 20 consecutive wins, you want to see how your guys respond, and then you fall behind 3-1 early. As you mentioned, you took the first couple punches, but nice to see the Bulldogs get off the mat, and they did it in style as they got production 1 through 9 in that batting order.
Yep.
And Garrison Smitty just competed out there on the bump. Even though he didn't have his best stuff, I think he'll be the first to tell you that. He still competed. He was able to minimize freebies. Ended up with 9 strikeouts. I had him for just 2 walks. So all in all, another good performance by Smitty. But Defiance was able to get back on their winning ways here with a nice comfort behind win here this afternoon.
You mentioned Garrison Smitty's numbers. Again, he competed. He's a Bulldog, but he got some offensive help. It came a little bit later in the game as the Bulldogs needed a few innings to solve Cole Mack, and then once they ran him, they feasted on the relievers for the Apaches. But Logan Hutchison, top of the order, 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored this afternoon. Cohen Stockman goes 1 for 4 with a couple of RBI. Brady Borton 1 for 4. Noah Gomez with a good game, 2 for 3 with a run scored. Cody Shaw goes 1 for 3. Khalil Ligon 1 for 2 with a pair scored. Colt Ward goes 1 for 2. He barreled a couple balls up today. Abel Rubio goes 0 for 1, but that's because he got hit twice. He scored on both of those occasions. And Brez Zippel out of the 9-hole was productive as well, going 1 for 2 with a sacrifice and a run scored. So everybody that stepped to the plate today in a Defiance uniform contributed in some way.
Well, they did. Everybody had at least a 1 hit or at least a run. I mean, just great production throughout, and they had so many quality bats. I think that's something that gets overlooked sometimes. I had them for nearly 20 quality bats here throughout the day. When you do that, good things are going to happen.
With the win, Defiance now 21-1, and now you turn your focus to Thursday because now you're talking the postseason and the opening round of the sectional playoffs.
Well, you're right. And the postseason, it's a cliche, but it's true. Everybody enters that postseason undefeated. That's all that matters. You have to win to survive. So, you prepare with games like this to get you ready. And now you want that preparation to pay off as you want to go in there fully loaded. And Defiance will have a huge target on their back, but they have a group of seniors and also some really good underclassmen. I think they're going to make it a really great opportunity here for this Defiance program to make some more tournament noise.
You mentioned target on their back, but Scoop, So what? Just another week in the season, right? They've had one on their back all year long.
And that's all you want. If you don't have a target on your back, then there's the problem. You know, so you want that target on your back. Certainly that comes with challenges. You can't take days off. You know, it's a feather in anybody's cap. If you get a win against Defiance, even a non-league game or whatever, but that's something that teams are going to ride home against. So they always have that Defiance game circled on their calendar, but Defiance has a way to answer the challenge. This is the 25th of the last 26 years, Brent, where Defiance has won at least 20 games. So, all in all, this is one of the toughest programs to beat in all of Ohio. And Fairview knows that, but the Apaches, they come in here expecting to win, and they really did a great job. Again, they're up 3-1 in the 5th inning. You're 9 outs away from getting a W, but those last 9 outs can be elusive sometimes, as teams have found out here at Defiance.
Sun slowly starting to set here as Fairview is packing up their bags. They'll make the short bus ride back home. Coach Weaver still has his team huddled up down the right field line. We will be hearing from him and hopefully a couple of players as we are going to effort to get Garrison Smitty and Logan Hutchinson, a pair of standout seniors, for our post-game interview. As a matter of fact, that was your Mark Moats Ford game recap and stats summary. The Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show continues right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
There you get a good look at, well, potentially a future Bulldog. The left side of your screen there, wandering off. Tell you what, they don't just build teams here. They have a program. I mean, it's how many times have you seen it, especially at schools roughly this size, even some of the inner city schools or larger metro area schools around the state where you get a good class and you'll see them be world beaters for a couple, maybe 3 seasons, and then they fall off the face of the earth. That's building a team. On the flip side, you take a look at the long, extended success that a school, a program like Defiance has, and that's when you know you have built a program, and that's what they've got here in the Bulldogs, as Coach Weaver making his way up, and we're going to anticipate getting a couple of players as well. As coach in great demand, obviously, on Senior Day. They've got a baker's dozen as far as the senior class is concerned, and all 13 celebrating here this afternoon, as I see our man down on the field trying to corral the players we're looking for. Now, I have not interviewed Garrison Smitty yet, so I'll be curious to see the young man. He's always talkative when he's around me. Logan Hutchison is about as humble and deflective of any accolades that you might give him. So between the two of them, we may have to pull a few words out of them, but they both deserve, actually the entire senior class does, but we only have 2 headsets here, and we'll hope to get a few more on Thursday. But we're going to start with Hutch and Smitty as I see them working their way up towards the press box here. So we will wait as Coach Weaver about to pick up a headset on the other end of the press box. This is always a lively place for the postgame as we welcome you back for the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show as Defiance knocks off a very game Fairview squad by a score of 9-4. And here they come, right over here, gentlemen, right over here. Absolutely.
Congrats.
Hutch, good job. Grab a headset.
Congrats.
Mr. Smitty, likewise to you, sir. We always keep the VIPs in the center circle. Sean, if you can frame that up, it's going to be a wide one. You can focus on these two guys, too, as well. So sounds like they brought up your headsets. We'll wait for Garrison to figure it out. Pull that down in front of you so we can hear you. There you go. All right, thumbs up. Brent Balbinot, Scoop Miller as the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show continues here. We've got a pair of royalty, 13 seniors. All right, gentlemen, I'm looking at the We Love Our Seniors in, I'm assuming that's very nice styrofoam down the left field line here. But let's talk about this year's class. Before we talk about tonight specifically, let's talk about this season and rewind. What were the conversations like amongst you guys as a senior class, but the coaches as well? Were you talking about what you can achieve this season?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we've all grown up together. We've played together. We knew this was our last ride together, and we wanted to be our final ride and best season we've had yet.
Garrison, you're nodding yes to that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have every single tool that we need to, go very far in tournament. Just all the pieces of the puzzle just need to keep falling in place, and I think we'll be good.
Now, it's one thing to talk baseball, but you guys genuinely seem to like each other. Can you just talk about the personal chemistry with this team? It's been built over a long time.
Right. Yeah, we've been playing together for forever, it feels like, and we just build that bond every day. We hang out outside of baseball, so.
Garrison, you do a lot of stuff away from the field then, too, it sounds like, right?
So we've been trying to do team bonding like once a week with all the seniors getting together, just getting pizza as a team or just something small like that. And
right. Who's the biggest eater?
Oh, probably Ben Meter.
Are you serious? Okay, we got to get him up here then for another one because we got to let him go ahead and rebut if that's, or would he agree to it?
He'd probably agree.
Okay.
Throw it down, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Who's the, I don't want to say clown, but like who's the biggest jokester? If somebody's going to crack a joke, try and loosen things up, who's that?
Probably Khalil.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. How about Team Dad? If somebody needs a ride or if the coaches weren't here, they would kind of be taking over, so to speak.
I'd say probably Casey.
I was going to say Casey, yeah.
Okay. Notice that, Scoop, though, they're given different answers for every question. That's a team. It's not just one or two guys.
It is. You can see that. And beyond the chemistry, I mean, you can all see the chemistry out there, but I like the way that I've seen the senior class kind of breathe fire in guys when things maybe, hey, we're not playing the way we're capable of doing. I've seen it between innings. I see a lot of respect amongst all you. Talk about that a little bit, how you guys hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, so when we're down in Florida, we had a conversation like if you need to be talked to by a teammate, you have to listen to them, respect their opinion, and that's just something we've been doing. So respect their opinion. They know what they're talking about most of the time. So
90% of the time?
90% of the time.
Okay, 90% is pretty good. You give yourself just a little bit of leeway there. Logan, but seriously, it's one thing for the coaches to say it. It's another thing for a teammate to hold each other accountable and not bow your neck, not get graded by it. Right. It seems like this group is able to check egos at the door. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it. Yeah.
All right, and I answered for him. My apologies. Let me ask you this. Let's start with today here because I'm looking down at you. 3 for 4, couple of runs scored. You did it in different ways, but again, you take a look at, I think it was Cole Mack, a little bit of a different delivery, kind of keeps his chicken wing locked in. He wasn't going to overpower you, but when he's got that bender going, it cuts across about 4 lanes of traffic. What was the key to picking him up today?
jump on the fastball, really. You can't get behind in the count against somebody like that with a good off-speed pitch, so just stay aggressive.
And Garrison, let's talk about the pitching here a little bit. Impressive performance, I thought. You had 9 strikeouts, you had 2 walks, a couple hit batsmen. Maybe didn't have your best stuff at times, but you really competed. What did you like about your performance here this afternoon?
I really found my third pitch. I feel like for the first time this year, I've struggled finding my changeup. So, fastball velo's down, but when your velo's down, you just have to really become a pitcher and, work with your pitches that you have. So, find my third pitch really helped today.
It's one of the things Coach Weaver talked about during his pregame, too. Look, at this level, and it's not being disrespectful, but there are multiple teams where maybe 1, 2 guys tops in the lineup could give you trouble. And then you can throw just about anything you want to the rest. You had to pitch, not just today, but all season long. And he said hitting your spots and your command is something that they've been really pleased with you so far this season. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Logan, where would you say you've made your most improvement this year?
Definitely at the plate. Last year I didn't hit very much because I wasn't hitting well. So obviously I made an improvement there.
Now, you're going to Butler, Garrison. Logan, what are plans for you after graduation? Have you decided yet?
Trade school to become an electrician.
Okay. He's going to be making 6 figures straight out of trade school. That's a wise move. We're not going to graduate you guys just yet, but you got the opening round of the playoffs coming up on Thursday. You guys openly talking about making a run, what you can do, or is it just one game at a time?
Definitely one game at a time.
Yeah, I would say one game at a time, but also we have that big goal of, going all the way. But, yeah, I think one game at a time and just go from there.
Scoop, do we have maybe a couple of future coaches standing in between us?
They have the coach talk down pretty well. So, but that they've heard this message, but they know they believe this message too. They understand what it takes because they know they have a big target on their back, but they know it's baseball. You go out there with that one pitch mentality, you win the next one, and it's worked really so far for Defiance this season.
Hey, as long as that target on your back doesn't itch, you're doing just fine. Congratulations, winner. Congratulations.
Yeah, boys.
Garrison Smitty and Logan Hutchinson joining us. We're going to take a quick time out. Coach Weaver saying, hey, if you got a headset for me, we'll have one for him. The postgame continues right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show continues. Brent Balvin alongside Scoop Miller as we are putting a wrap on it. We save the best for last. Coach Weaver coming up and joining us. 9-4, you wrap out 11 hits. I know you're not happy with that last column, 3 errors, 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors for Fairview. But, Coach, all in all, and again, big school, small school, big conference, small conference. You knew Fairview was bringing a quality team in here. You had to earn this one today.
Absolutely. I knew it was not going to be easy. Andy's done a great job over there. They were 20-2 for a reason. Like it just doesn't happen by accident to win 20 out of your first 22. I felt confident with us still. Even down 3-1, I thought we were stringing together good at bats. We just couldn't get that big hit, couldn't get him to fall, and then we finally broke through in the 5th.
Coach, talk about your mindset a little bit because, admittedly, you guys took some punches early. You got down 3-1. They threw out a couple would-be base stealers. They had things going their way, and you're down to your last 9 outs. You're down 3-1 in the 5th. Things can get dicey. It's baseball. What you like about your mindset that gave you that confidence going into those later innings?
Yeah, well, that's where having 13 seniors helps. They don't panic. They don't kind of lose their emotions. Khalil Ligon is a leader. He brings them in, and right before the 5th, he brings them in.
We saw that.
And he's like, hey, take a deep breath. We're fine. Our at-bats are fine. We're going to break through. Just keep doing what we're doing. And that's big when your players can do that because they get tired of listening to me say the same thing over and over. So that was big.
Everybody that stepped to the plate today either had a hit, reached base, had an RBI, and or scored a run. We talk about, certain teams, murderers row, but then there's almost always a cliff that you drive off. And I hate to say not be disrespectful, but you've got a couple of outs. Not the case with your roster here and your lineup today. Everybody contributed in one way or another.
Yeah, and Abel and Brez were big in that. Abel had the two walks, or actually I think
2 hits.
Twice.
Yep.
And obviously the big one in the 5th inning. Brez got the single that inning. Got a bunt down there in the 6th. I thought the 2 biggest at bats of the game were one was Cohen Stockman's his single with the 2 RBIs. And then maybe not the biggest, but I thought a great at-bat was his last at-bat where he battled with 2 strikes and got the ground out and got the RBI. And that's the one thing where we've really preached and harped on being able – we call them free RBIs. Guy on third, less than 2 outs, find a way to put it in play and get that run in. And there's been games we struggled at. So I was pleasantly happy with that at bat.
He's smiling.
Well, and that's what I would call a quality at bat. You guys had so many of them tonight. When you look at things, you look at the scoreboard, a 9-4 win. Yeah, it was an easy win. But when you look at the numbers, they don't always add up that way because when you look at things, you guys only left 3 runners on base, but yet you found a way to score 9 runs. Meanwhile, Fairview left 7 guys on base. So both teams really had equal opportunities. You guys really cashed in on yours, but I thought those quality at-bats really paid dividends.
And I'm glad you bring it up. There's 2 things we chart. We chart free bases, and we chart our quality at-bats. So Saturday against Fort Wayne Snyder's, the first game all year, we lost the free base war, and that was our first loss. We actually lost the free base war tonight, 15-9. So that's huge. Quality at-bats, our goal is 60%. We had 30 at-bats today, and 24 of them are what we deem quality at-bats. So when you get 24 out of your 30 quality at-bats.
That'll win you games, yeah.
Yes, it will, absolutely.
Speaking of games, it starts in earnest now. Second season, whatever the cliche is that you want to label it, Thursday. You guys openly talk about what this team is capable of, what the goals are, or are you just treating it as the next game on the schedule?
We just talk it one game at a time. One game at a time, and we just preach whoever we're playing is the best team on our schedule. We don't look ahead, but we do talk about, if you do make a tournament run, it's fun. Like, it's fun. It's something that you will remember forever. They'll always have a bond, but we don't try to talk about every day and that. We just try to go one day at a time and get better.
Don't make the moment bigger than it really is.
No, just try to treat it as another game. And I know sometimes you don't want to say that, but sometimes when you get too emotional and this is a huge game, then the kids start to do things that they're not used to doing. If you just say, hey, it's just another ball game, and try to keep it relaxed and not put the pressure on them.
There's the psychology of coaching. Nothing to do with strategy, all from the neck up, right?
That's right. It's so mental.
All right. Well, Coach, we're going to be back out here on Thursday. Congratulations tonight, and best of luck to you on Thursday.
Congrats, Rick.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick time out. Back to put a wrap on the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Back up in the press box, Brent Balbinot, Scoop Miller putting a wrap on the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show as Defiance knocks off Fairview. 9 runs on 11 hits, 3 errors to the Apaches. 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors. 2:20 win teams. And, Scoop, I don't think it's really going too far out on a limb to expect a deep postseason run for both these squads here in about another week.
No doubt about it. We saw two quality teams here tonight that have won a lot of games. They're continuing to win games, have a good chance to make deep tournament runs. And this is what you want going in. Both teams got tested a little bit. Credit Defiance, they saw some adversity tonight, but they got off the mat. They came back with an impressive come-from-behind win. And for Fairview, they loved the start they had. They just couldn't quite seal the deal against this Defiance team that continues to find ways to win ball games.
That's going to do it for our broadcast here this afternoon. We are crossing our fingers, weather permitting. We will have the opener of sectional play for softball on Wednesday as the Ayersville Pilots, the Honey Badger, Kendra Waldron and company are the number 1 seed. Hopefully Mother Nature will allow it as they will be taking on Leipzig over at Napoleon. It's going to be a little bit of an earlier game than originally scheduled as it will be a 3:30 pregame with a 4 o'clock start. Again, we'll hope that the rain holds off. We'll be right back here on Thursday as Defiance opens up the district. The district opener. Sectional opener. Why don't we just get them all to be the same, at least across the Midwest? Sectional opener, and then hopefully making a deep run in the playoff as well. And then, of course, we'll wait and see. The schedule is to be determined after that, but we anticipate following plenty of our area baseball and softball teams through the early, hopefully deep rounds of the playoffs.
This is the fun part of the season for the kids, the fans, the coaches, you name it, so you don't want to miss it.
And the broadcasters. For our crew doing more than yeoman's work today, big thank you also going out to our sponsors for helping make the broadcast